After a 3-3 road trip against the Blue Jays and Yankees, the Orioles return home to Camden Yards, and they begin a long homestand at the tail end of this Labor Day weekend against the Kansas City Royals. Good afternoon, everyone. What a day it is for baseball. Kevin Brown, Ben McDonald will be with us shortly. September 6th, it's a special date in Orioles history. 25 years ago today, Eddie Murray hit number 500, and Eddie is here, and he's going to join us in the third inning. We can't wait for that. But today is not just about the past. It is about the present. An Orioles team that played well on the road, beat the Yankees in Yankee Stadium, winning 2 out of 3 with an 8-7 victory yesterday. And Brandon Hyde was asked after the game if it was indeed his team's most satisfying win of the year.
Kind of crawled our way back there with some really good at-bats there in the 6th and the 7th inning. And, Cedric with the homer. Watching Tanner Scott and Tyler Wells pitch there in the end, that was just really a great job of pitching. So we did a lot of really good things in this series, had a chance to win all 3 games. I was really happy with how we came back being down 4-1. And I let our guys know it's okay to win 7-2 once in a while also.
Maybe today will be 7-2 for Hyder. Hey, the Orioles beat an American League East opponent in a series for the first time since way back at the start of the year over Boston. They really played well this weekend.
No, they did, and they've really turned the corner as of late. I mean, you go back to when they were in Toronto, they lost all 3 of them, but they were in and could have won all 3 of those ball games as well. And lose game 1 in the Yankee series in extra innings, could have won that, but could have swept the Yankees. So all in all, look, the Orioles are playing much better. They've won 2 of their last 4 series, and I think the offense has gotten better. Runners in scoring position is better, but the pitching has really kicked it up too. The starters have been outstanding. The relievers have too. So it's been fun to watch. And anytime you can go into the Bronx and you can win a series, it's a special series.
Kansas City's in town today. The Orioles beat them 2 out of 3 in KC out of the break. Zach Lowther makes his 2nd Major League start. He's on the hill when we return to Oriole Park. And the Royals, Whit Merrifield, the Major League stolen base leader, leads it off, and Salvador Perez, 2nd in the big leagues in home runs, catches and bats 3rd for Kansas City, 61 and 75.
And they'll take their swings off the 25-year-old left-hander Zach Lowther, making his 2nd big league start of his career. 5 appearances on the year, just pitched 8 1/3. First start of the year wasn't a great one for him.
And this should be a better start to the 2nd start as long as Austin Hayes can find this baseball in the sun. And he does. First pitch 105, first out 105. Whit Merrifield, who's that big stolen base threat, is erased. And a good start for Lowther, who was called up from Norfolk today. Dustin Knight optioned. And the expectation from Brandon Hyde is that Zach Lowther may get a couple of shots to prove what he can do down the stretch.
And why not? I mean, getting back to his first start wasn't a good one against the Red Sox. Gave up 7 earned runs in just 2 1/3. But his relief appearance has been pretty good. So hopefully today he can do that. It is not a power arm. It's a guy that relies a lot on command. That's where you're going to see his fastball just around 90 miles an hour.
Strike 1 to Nicky Lopez. Kansas City 61 and 75. The Royals 4th place in the American League Central. A ground ball from Lopez. Jorge Mateo ranging. Did not have a shot at Lopez, who runs pretty well, but did well to get to the baseball anyway. Will be a leadoff single or an infield single with 1 out for the Royals shortstop Lopez.
Well, this is what Mateo can give you, is a little bit of extra range. He gets to this ball really pretty easily, spins around and throws it accurately over to first base. Mountcastle almost picks it out there. It would not have mattered. You mentioned that Nicky Lopez can get down the line. 19 stolen bases on the year.
And that's 19 for 19 as well.
That's a pretty good average. But that's what the Royals do. I mean, it's not a great hitting team as far as home runs go and scoring runs. But one thing they do better than anybody in baseball, they steal bases.
103 of them. Here's Salvador Perez, and there's a strike from Lowther. So Kansas City team that is 3rd from the bottom of the American League in runs scored. They are last in the American League in home runs despite the 41 from this guy, Salvador Perez. This is a slow chopper to 3rd base. Gutierrez will cut it off, and he only has a play at first. Could not get Lopez. The ball was hit so slowly, but it's just a 5-pitch sequence to get through 3 batters. 2 outs for Lowther.
Well, this is what Zach Lowther has done throughout his minor league career. 365 innings pitched, only 127 walks. So typically he pounds the strike zone. And anytime you can create early contact, that is a wonderful thing. It'll only allow you to work deeper in the ball games.
This is a Royals team that gives you a lot of early contact for these swingers. Edward Olivares swings through, strike one on a foul tip. 91 from the left arm of Zach Lowther. 25-year-old Olivares was not part of the Royals roster when the Orioles went there after the All-Star break, where they took 2 out of 3 in Kansas City. And he fouls this one away. 0-2 from Lowther.
This is StatCast powered by Google Cloud. See how Zach Lowther likes to use his stuff. Even though he doesn't throw hard, it is a high percentage of fastballs. Four-seamer 62%, changeup, curveball, and a slider to go with it. Probably his best swing miss pitches are the changeup and the curveball.
See what he gives Olivares on 0-2. It was a breaking ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Zach Lowther, working with Austin Wynns behind the plate today. A few regulars have the day off. Pedro Severino, Trey Mancini. Ramon Urias still a little banged up, and he is out of the lineup after leaving the game yesterday. DJ Stewart on the bench against the left-handed starter Chris Bubic as well. This breaking ball swatted into center. Ryan McKenna getting the start in center today with Cedric Mullins DHing, and he puts it away. Scoreless first inning for Zach Lowther in his second major league start. Day, I see one of the gentlemen there on the left side wearing the t-shirt. A couple of the folks using the t-shirt as a towel right now. Put it on after the game, no doubt. Here's your Oriole lineup. No trade today. Cedric Mullins DHing for the first time in his big league career. He's got 25 home runs. So does Ryan Mountcastle. Austin Hayes behind him, rocking a 12-game hit streak, second longest in the major leagues.
They'll take their swings off the left-hander Chris Bubic, 24 years old. See what he's done. He's been a lot better at a reliever. You can see 15 starts under his belt this year, 9 relief appearances. As a starter, a 5.9 ERA. Reliever, been much different, 3.08. Stuff's pretty good, though. 6 quality starts in just 15. And he rolled off 4 quality starts in a row at one point before it kind of went south on him. But he'll get another shot to get in this rotation for the Royals, and it's a young rotation that they have. Brady Singer, Jackson Coar, and boy Carlos Hernandez, who we'll see in the final game of this series. Outstanding stuff.
Cedric Mullins to lead it off. Take ball 1 from Bubic. Not going to be a day where either starter overpowers the radar gun. Cedric 3 back of Vlad Guerrero Jr. for the American League hits lead. Yesterday became the 3rd Oriole ever for the 25-25 season. He hit his 25th home run. 6th inning cut the lead to 1. Orioles then gave up 2 and then got 4 in the 7th for an 8-7 win in the Bronx. That ball slammed into the gap by Mullins. A left center field shot. This should be extra bases. Michael Taylor's not going to have a play. It's a double for Cedric Mullins, his 33rd of the season.
Well, that's how you get it started. Well, Cedric Mullins went through a little bit of a dry spell for a couple of weeks. Boy, the last couple of games, there's a good look at that circle change. Bubic tries to turn it over on the outside part of the plate. This ball hangs up just enough. And Cedric Mullins has done this all year long. He has used the opposite field with that inside-out swing, plants it out in left center field, and easily gets into second base.
So Cedric came into the game tied for 6th in the American League in doubles. Jumps a little bit with number 33. Ryan Mountcastle takes one in the dirt. Ryan back at first base today. Second among major league rookies, are tied for second. Only behind it, Dolis Garcia of the Texas Rangers with those 25 home runs. And he is your Oriole RBI leader. He has excelled in these scoring position situations. Ryan, a big time hack. And the fastball at 90 by him from Bubic.
That was not the typical Ryan Mountcastle swing that we've seen as of late that's made him so successful. Lately, it's been pretty balanced, nice and short to the baseball, but pretty long on that one.
2-1 for Ryan, who had himself a heck of a month of August. Highest barrel rate in August of this season. A barrel and optimal combination of exit velocity and launch angle, usually an extra base hit. Only Matt Chapman barreled the ball up more in August. Mountcastle tied for second in the majors with Juan Soto. 2-1 to Ryan, who's dealing with a little bit of a foot injury right now. And he fished this one out of play, 2-2.
Well, this is how Chris Bubic likes to use his stuff. Check out his pitch arsenal. Only a 3-pitch mix. 4-seam fastball 51% of the time. Changeup and a curveball. Changeup is the best swing and miss pitch that he has. Swing and miss 29% of the time.
And a lot of success on it, but he's also given up 13 home runs on that pitch. 2-2. And Ryan got it, and he flicks it foul out of play.
Yeah, that's been Bubic's biggest problem this year, is keeping the ball in the ballpark. And Kansas City, big ballpark. It is a pitcher's ballpark, but yet Bubic still 20 home runs on the year. And just 99 in the third coming in.
See how patient the Orioles can be today as well. Leads the American League in walks per 9 innings, Chris Bubic. 4.7 per 9 for starters. Mullins a double. And Mountcastle a strikeout, and he went down on the fluttering changeup.
Well, this is Chris Bubic's best pitch. That changeup, it's a circle change all day long. Likes to really turn it over. So he starts it in the zone around the outside part, and he just leaks it off the outside corner, down and away. Picks up the first out of the inning.
There's Austin Hayes. Hit streak is up to 12 for him. That's a career high. One shy of Vlad Guerrero Jr. for the longest active streak in the big leagues. Bubic will check on Mullins, who is in there.
Well, here is Austin Hayes. You talk about been hot. 4 consecutive series. He has been on fire. 7 of his 15 home runs hit versus pitchers the first time he sees them in the ball game.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance, and he got Corey Kluber with a good chance yesterday.
Second home run on this 12-game hit streak for Austin yesterday. 5 hits in the series against the Yankees. 5 for 14, doubled a home run, also a walk in there. Those are the numbers for Austin during the hit streak. 386 over the course of the streak, and 7 extra base hits in these 12 games. Batting third against a lefty today. He really hits lefties well. Swings through the curveball from Bubic. 1-1.
Bubic's not one of those guys going to give in and throw you a fastball, typically in a fastball count. He'll show the changeup, spin the breaking ball. And you're right, that's one part of Austin Hayes' game that he has to get better at. On base percentage is one of them. The other thing is attacking right-handed hitters. Lefties, no problem. Right-handers about 100 points lower than his left-handed opponent's batting average.
Another look at second. On base percentage, you mentioned for Austin, still just 297. Slugging percentage is 433. That's not a bad number. So his power has been one of the best on the team. 98 hits, 38 have gone for extra bases, but only 22 walks in 105 games. Mullins takes a big lead off second. He's really getting into Bubic's head right now. Look, Cedric's not playing the field today. He's got to get his energy out somehow.
Got a little extra energy. Trying to show Whit Merrifield he can take a few bags too. Of course, Whit #1 in the American League in stolen bases. Cedric sitting at #2.
A ground ball slowly to shortstop. Mullins will go back to the bag as Nicky Lopez throws out Austin Hayes.
Well, here is the Royals defense behind Chris Bubic. Andrew Benintendi out in left. Michael A. Taylor in center. Olivares over in right field. Your double play combination, Lopez and Whit Merrifield at second. Hanser Alberto, our old friend, at third. Carlos Santana at first. And Salvador Perez, second in the American League in home runs and RBIs behind home plate for the Royals.
Pretty amazing. He's caught now 105 games. He's played in 136 out of 137. Had a fever a couple of days ago in St. Louis and had to sit out for the first time this year.
And was upset about that. Wanted to play. 103 fever he showed up with and wanted to play in the ball game.
Strike one to Anthony Santander. A couple of weeks ago, I should say, for Perez, by the way, not in the lineup a couple of weeks ago in August. And he has DH'd when he is not caught today outside of that one game in St. Louis. 0-1 for Anthony. And 2 strikes on Santander, who once again has been a better power hitter from the left side, but as a right-handed hitter, on base percentage, batting average, still a little bit ahead of where he is from the left side.
Yeah, about 4 series ago, he had a wonderful series. You thought he was about to get going again and really just take off. And then the last 3 series, it's been okay, but not what he's looking for.
1 for 10 at Yankee Stadium. And 0 for 1 here. So a leadoff double for Mullins, but nothing more. A scoreless first here on Labor Day. Outfield where Eddie hit at number 500, and you can see the orange seat right there. That's Al Meacham Jr., the commissioner of James Mosher Baseball, in the specially marked orange seat where that guy, Eddie Murray, hit number 500 25 years ago today. There's Eddie and there's Al before the game. And Eddie's going to join us here. We're looking forward to seeing him in an inning in the third to talk about that memorable, magical night 25 years ago, September 6th, 1996. A lot of stuff happened on September 6th in Orioles history. Eddie hit his 500th. The year before that, Cal broke Lou Gehrig's record. And we also found out something else special before the game as Carlos Santana steps in and pops up strike one. You debuted, Ben McDonald, 32 years ago today.
Yeah, that makes me feel really old. 32 years ago, a 21-year-old kid. How about that?
How about that? How well do you remember it?
Very well. I remember my heartbeat. I thought my heart was going to come out of my chest. Frank Robinson brought me in an 0-2 count to face Corey Schneider. 0-2, which was one better than 2-0. Threw 1 pitch and 2 hopper to Cal, who tossed it over to Billy, who tossed it over to Randy Milligan at first, and we were out of the inning. And I said, well, this isn't going to be so bad. Boy, was I wrong. Got a little tougher after that.
It wasn't so bad.
Got a little tougher.
2-2 for Santana. So you probably, I say probably, tied a record by getting 2 outs on your first big league batter faced. I'm guessing there's never been a pitcher who's induced a triple play in a first batter face, but maybe there has been. So I'm gonna
That's probably right. You're right.
You likely tied it. That's fouled away by the veteran Santana, the switch hitting first baseman. 2-2. 9-pitch first for Zach Lowther. Worked around an infield single, got a couple of flyouts and 1 ground out. Brandon Hyde said after the game yesterday that it would be Zach Lowther. Wanted to call up somebody off the 40-man roster. Lowther been pitching better in Norfolk of late. Santana reaches out for a fastball poke to first. Zach's going to have to get there in a hurry. He does. And a nice throw by Ryan as well for the ground out 3-1.
Yeah, this was a tough play. Very tough play for Mountcastle. Lowther trying to get there and receive the ball and step on the bag, but Mountcastle did a good job here. And the key to this for the first baseman is making sure he leads the first baseman like a quarterback would lead a receiver. You see Mountcastle to the backhand side, but he's got to throw it out in front of Lowther. Perfectly does that. And there's the lead. Lowther receives it and touches first base. Right there. Has to go back to it.
1 away for Andrew Benintendi, and it's a called strike to Benintendi there. Jordan Baker, the plate umpire today. James Hoy is at first. Sean Barber at second. Mark Carlson, the crew chief, third. There's the curveball, and that is a called strike as well. So outside corner to lefties appears to be a favorable pitcher's spot.
That's a good bender here. It's 2 different breaking balls. Curveball and a slider. That's the big breaking ball. Fastball in there.
I'm sorry. First pitch was called ball one. Looked like there was a strike called from Jordan Baker. The scoreboard down at 0-2 as well, but I guess it was called ball one. It looked way outside, so I was kind of surprised by his reaction. But clearly Benintendi's bunt meant it was 1-1. Now it's 1-2. And Andrew was able to hold up. $12 home runs for Benintendi, only a .295 on base. Not a great offensive year for him in 109 games. Over from the Red Sox in the offseason. That ball's drilled to right field. Is it going to get up over the wall? No, it's right off the top of the scoreboard. Santander might have a shot, but his throw not in time. A rocket double from Benintendi, who was oh so close to grazing the wall and hit it just at the top of the 21-foot fence.
Well, Benintendi got Lowther in a pretty predictable count. 3-2 count, looking for a fastball. He goes up the ladder to get this one, and you're right. It is almost a line drive off the bat. Thought it had a shot, but off the top of the wall. Santander, one hop gets it in, but Benintendi can run. Plays center field at the University of Arkansas. First round draft pick, and he can motor. 20th double of the season.
Michael Taylor, the batter, and ball one to him from Zach Lowther. Taylor has also had a tough year offensively. Just a .354 slugging to go with that low on base percentage. A lot of strikeouts, not a lot of walks. This Kansas City team, by adjusted OPS, on base plus slugging, adjust that to the park and to the league, has one player, that is better than league average. That's Perez. Nicky Lopez is exactly at league average. Everybody else is either a little below or a lot below. They are not all that with the bats.
Yeah, if you look at some of the numbers, they're confusing because the first thing you look at is strikeouts. And so they got the third fewest strikeouts in the American League. So you say, okay, that's going to be a pretty high on base percentage. But if you dig a little deeper, they also have the fewest walks. Not in the American League, they have the fewest walks in all of baseball. So they don't strike out much, but they hardly ever walk.
Taylor, who does not walk a lot, takes a strike, 3-1. His whole career with the Washington Nationals before this season, Michael Taylor. Has been the Royals' primary center fielder this year, and he is good out there. On 3-1, a ground ball yanked to Gutierrez. He'll throw to first and get Taylor as Mountcastle leans into it. Benintendi had to hold at second. Today's Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, Dave Cook Jr. from right here in Baltimore. Dave has won $500 for being selected and will win $500 more for every Orioles home run hit today. Play Fast Play Home Run Rich's progressive game for a chance to win the growing jackpot. Play fast, win fast today. So 2 groundouts in the inning, and here is, as you called him, old friend Hanser Alberto. And when you said the Royals don't walk much and don't strike out much,
you know who doesn't, huh?
Here's the poster child. 218 plate appearances. I'm sorry, 216 plate appearances. He'll get to 218 later. He has walked 2, count them, 2 times.
That is hard to do.
Only struck out 25. Alberto laces one foul and played by the ball boy. He just missed it off the net, but Lowther is 1 strike away from a rare 26th K for Hanser Alberto, who was with the Orioles in 2019 and 2020.
I can say when he was with the Oriole in the Oriole uniform, that worked well for him. He didn't walk much, but he collected a lot of base hits, and he wore out some left-handers.
Last 3 seasons tied for the most hits in the majors against lefties since that first year with the O's, and this pitch nearly hit him 1-2.
Austin Wins. Very good on defense. Just a breaking ball, bearing it down and in. Austin Wins transfers his weight to his left, takes it off the chest, keeps it in front.
Benintendi, a one-out double. Alberto with a ground ball shot to second, his old position at this park, and Jahmai Jones throws him out. 3 ground outs and a scoreless second for Zach Lowther. So far, so good in big league start number 2. For the 2022 season, pay in full by the end of the month for access to swing for your seats and win a 2022 Birdland membership. Birdland members enjoy great added value. You get 30% savings up to it on concessions and merchandise, a flexible exchange policy, Birdland rewards, and more. And plans are as low as $208. Learn more at Orioles.com/membership. Eddie in the house.
There he is.
Going to talk to Eddie Murray soon. He'll be with us next inning on the anniversary of his 500th home run. Throughout the first pitch to Trey Mancini. Got a big hand from the crowd. Just got a big hand after being shown on the video board in between innings. Chance of Eddie like it's 96 all over again. Jorge Mateo's 24th start as an Oriole, and boy, have the first 23 been good. On base in every Orioles start but one. 303, 351 on base, and 10 extra base hits in 25 games with the O's.
Yeah, he has been a totally different player for the Orioles than what he was with the Padres. You know, and he'll tell you it's about getting everyday at bats. He just didn't get those consistent at bats, but he's been impressive. Little pop in the bat. We saw him hit a home run in New York. He's hit line drives.
And that ball's a line drive right on cue. A single slugged in front of Michael Taylor, and the speedy Mateo is aboard at first.
Yeah, this is when it really gets fun, when he gets on first base. But it's been a pretty balanced swing, and he's used right field. We've seen a lot of hits out the opposite way. He just kind of sits back on his breaking ball. Now, it's a good one to attack because it stays up in his zone, but he recognized it right away. And look how balanced he is. Head down, just on time with that breaking ball. And this is when it really begins to get fun, when he gets on base. Not many faster in all of Major League Baseball than Jorge Mateo.
Yesterday had a big RBI single to tie the game, also a sac fly. The Orioles 8-7 win over the Yankees. Ryan McKenna. Ball one from the left-hander Chris Bubic. McKenna getting a start in center field today with Cedric DHing. And now the cat and mouse battle between Bubic and Mateo begins. No throws over so far, no stolen base attempts, and a 1-1 count to Ryan.
Yeah, Bubic didn't take much time at all. It's almost a slide step, and he knows he has to be quick to home plate to give Perez an opportunity just in case Mateo takes off.
Salvador Perez has a pretty good arm behind the plate. 2-1 count. Perez has caught base stealers at a 37% clip this year, and Mateo hasn't looked like he's interested in going just yet.
Yeah, pretty average lead, 12, 13 feet.
Still not going anywhere, and a called strike. Again, that area of the plate, we saw it outside corner to lefties, we see it inside corner to righties. It seems like Jordan Baker's going to give that today.
Yeah, he's going to give the corners, and Bubic right now speeding up the batter, Ryan McKenna. My bet would be he's trying to get to his best pitch, which is that changeup down and away after a couple of fastballs in.
And I think your bet was correct, but didn't look like you got it quite.
No, you're right. He got away with that one, and Ryan McKenna just missed, hit that really hard. Bubic tried to get that ball down and away. You could see where Perez was set up and where he wanted the ball, and that caught a little bit too much plate.
Ryan 0 for 11 since coming back up from Norfolk. 8 strikeouts in that time span. Trying to pick up a hit for the first time since August the 14th in the big leagues. Very young Oriole lineup today. First 7 players in the order are either 24 or 26. And Gutierrez at 27 and wins at 30 after that. There goes Mateo. Pitch is high. Throw is in time. Mateo wants a check, though. He's got the Dikembe Mutombo finger wag. He's not going anywhere at second base. Very confident that he beat it. And we'll see if the Orioles call for review.
It looked like to me he beat it. It looked like to me he beat the throw. I'm looking at the tag. The tag is well back, too. Here we go. Whit Merrifield. Fingered in. Oh, I think he's there. That is so close.
Orioles are going to challenge.
Good look at it right there. I mean, so the tag is all the way back near the knee. Just on the back of the knee.
I think he's safe. Sean Barber's the umpire there.
Just by an instant. I mean, it's by a fingernail if he is. That's how close it is.
And remember, because this is replay, you have to have clear and convincing evidence to overturn it. So the call on the field is always important in this situation, and the call on the field is currently that he's out. Now this is a pretty quick review, and that's going to mean he's out. Not enough to overturn it, apparently. And Mateo caught stealing 2-4.
For Salvador Perez, he is having a year at the plate, a historical year at the plate, and that was big time throw there. He quickly got the ball out and down to second base accurately to Merrifield with a really quick tag. Don't forget about what Merrifield did there. That was very quick down to the back of the leg.
So 3-2 for Ryan now. And he goes down swinging. Strikeout is the third of the game for Bubic.
Yeah, Bubic's strikeout numbers are fine. I mean, 91 strikeouts coming in and just under 100 innings. The problem, as you mentioned, was the walks, and that can get him in trouble from time to time. Almost 5 walks per 9 innings, but that's a really good changeup. And it wasn't located perfectly, but because he does enough work with the fastball on the inside part, and the arm speed looks just like the arm speed from the changeup, it works.
So 2 out, nobody on for Jahmai Jones. Leadoff single with the caught stealing and a strikeout. I still think Mateo was safe by a hair.
I do too. I don't know if it was enough to turn it over, and that's why the field, call to field is always the most important. I thought they might be able to slow it down enough to really see it frame for frame.
I wonder if in some way he was hurt by having the mitt. I wonder if it's a little bit easier to see the fingers touch the base there. I don't know. Maybe I'm spitballing, but maybe it's a little harder to see when the big bulky mitt actually makes contact with the base as compared to the fingers or the hand. No swing from Jones. 1-2.
Held it up.
Jahmai goes the other way. Michael Taylor was shaded into left center, but he tracks it down, and Bubic faces the minimum in the second.
'96, 25 years ago today, the great Eddie Murray hit his 500th career home run here at Oriole Park.
And the great Eddie Murray joins us 25 years later from the booth here at Oriole Park. Eddie, it's great to see you.
Wow. I'm getting old. I tell you this, I just can't believe it's 25 years. And somebody mentioned it to me early in the year, and I just had no clue that this time has been flying like this.
How well do you remember that day?
Oh, it was a day that I was glad to have over. I came in that afternoon and told Cal I was going to finally hit it today. I have no idea who's pitching. I just said nobody's talked to me. I said I am so relaxed. I know I'm going to do it and blah, blah. Then it started to rain. And now I'm going, how am I going to get this under the 12 o'clock hour, and I was able to do it.
Now, what was different? I mean, when you woke up that morning, what was different and what made you think it was going to happen that day?
Nobody talked to me.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there are people that were coming up and just wishing you to hit this thing. And I've called a lot of home runs that I hit, but I was calling them.
Right.
They were demanding that I hit this thing, and it was like, oh, man, that was some serious pressure right there. But, to get by that was really nice to have that behind me.
Right.
3-2 for Hunter Dozier. So when did you hit 499? How long of a gap was there between 499 and 500?
There was a gap. That was a serious gap. And I tell you, when I came here and I saw the orange cards with my name on it, that was the worst thing that could happen. I mean, it was just a sea of orange around here. And I stepped out of the batter's box and I go, wow, they want me to hit this now. I can't do that. Nobody's thrown the pitch at me. I was pretty good at it, Ben, when somebody kind of brushed me back and then.
We've seen that before.
Yeah, so I was kind of glad to get that really, really behind me. And I think a lot of guys kind of struggle once you get to that 499, that next one. The swing and everything just changes a little.
Eddie, this is Rob Long. Listen, I remember the trade that brought you back to Baltimore so you could hit number 500 here in Baltimore with the Orioles. Were you part of the idea of coming back, or was that something that's orchestrated just between the two front offices?
No, there was some things going on in Cleveland, and there used to be some old Baltimore people. Some things started to happen around there. They bring you over there to help bring them to a point of where they were going to be some winners. And I mean, I got over there and it was seriously, I'm not calling it babysitting, but it was close. We had some wild guys on the team. And I mean, I'm talking about me telling people, get your butt back in the locker room with this cell phone and things of that nature. I mean, it was just wild there. You just had to just try and tell them, this is how you play this game. And they caught on, and I'm telling you, that was one of the most talented teams ever.
I was going to ask you, you've been on a bunch of great offensive teams, but I remember the Cleveland Indians of the mid-'90s with you in there and Albert Bell and Kenny Lofton and Baergo and Sorrento and a young Manny Ramirez and Jim Tomei hitting down at the bottom of that lineup.
Absolutely.
And that was one of the, I mean, the Oakland lineups, the Canseco and the Bash brothers of the late 80s, early 90s was impressive too, but I think that lineup to me was one of the most impressive lineups I've ever seen.
Yeah, they got to a point where they just couldn't listen anymore. I mean, Hershiser was on the mound pitching. For instance, we tried to tell them, say, we're not going to beat Atlanta if we don't put this in the paper. We say we got a good offensive squad, and we would really like to just have you to put in there. We got a good hitting team, but we're going to make them throw strikes. The Atlanta Braves were known for not throwing the ball over the plate. All they did was get the ball and throw it back. And the umpire opened that plate up for you.
1-2 for Whit Merrifield. We're talking with Eddie Murray on the 25th anniversary of his 500th home run. It's, of course, the 26th anniversary of Cal breaking Lou Gehrig's record. How meaningful was it for you to do it on the same date and to be linked forever?
Oh, don't bring that up.
It's too late. It's been brought up.
Yeah, how that played out was just crazy. Like I said, that afternoon I came in and I said I was going to hit it. And he's the one I'm talking to. So he now wants to get the inside on it. Like, well, how do you know you're going to hit it today? And I said, well, nobody's talked to me. I feel real good. I'm just relaxed and all this. So I go out to run my first sprint to warm up just before the game. And I look up at the scoreboard, and they're now running last year's thing on him. And I go, oh, no. And he goes, yep, you've already said you're going to hit it. You got to hit it.
Can't take it back now.
All right. And he has seen me do some things in the game where you're making calls and actually hit balls out. And if you really want to see him smile, sometimes you ask him about one of the home runs I hit in Japan. Oh,
one of the home runs you hit in Japan?
Yeah, we won the World Series in '83, so '84 they would send you over on the even year. And I hit a ball that left the ballpark and landed in a late in center field, and he just was in awe of it. I just never seen a ball hit that far, and he just, he just giggles when he thinks about that.
You hit it in a lake, you said?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. After a ball high and tight.
High and tight. That works on some guys, but some it don't. As a pitcher, you got to know who you're dealing with a little bit. Now, how often does that happen? I mean, I know hitters. I hung around hitters a little bit, sit on the bench and like, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him today. I mean, I hear hitters call their shots because of what may have happened the previous sequence and how you were pitched, and maybe a pitch that you were going to sit on. How often did you guys talk about those kind of things in the dugout?
Well, I did it quite a bit, and I tell you, Terry Crowley, he couldn't understand sometimes how I would make the call. I'd spin a ball and cube it back to the pitcher, one to the third baseman, and I'd come in the dugout. I said, fellas, next time he's going in the seats. And he's going, yeah, behind my back, like, yeah, sure, he's going to do it. I go up and do it, and he just turned around. What? You square up 2 balls. How in the heck do you make a call to say that you're going to hit this ball out? And you hit the ball 450-some feet or whatever, and he just couldn't understand that. I said, I don't mind him getting me out, but I said he's laughing. There's just certain things you didn't do to me, and I had a way of adjusting on pitches, on how I look for them after that, and it kind of worked for me.
I'd say it did.
It worked for you all the way to Cooperstown. You talk about Cal a lot, Eddie, and he talks about you a lot. And from what I remember, you were always like one of, if not the youngest player on the team, and then all of a sudden Cal comes around. How important was that relationship for you?
I didn't really think that much of it, but I tell you, it was bothering me, that I was the youngest, but he came along. Hey, this game is constantly switching of players and stuff, but he hung around for a while, and then, we got to play some serious years, and you don't do things in the game like 500 and other things if you're not, you got to play some years. You just can't come in and out 10 years and you're done. But he was pretty good. I tell you, we got the boxing at shortstop and stuff like that. Hey, I'm telling him I was here before you, so every day in batting practice I take my ground balls and all this, and I go stand at shortstop. I was doing this before you got here. So now it turns into a little boxing match, and they're hitting balls right by us, and I'm going, hey man, stop, somebody gonna get hit by the ball or something. And but that was just, he was a big kid. Believe it or not, that was my first, he texted me today, I think about 9:30. Yeah, he couldn't wait till 10 o'clock, but he knows you don't call me until 10.
Junior always had a lot of energy.
Yes, he did.
A lot of energy. Even as he got older and later in his career, a ton of energy.
Yes.
Salvador Perez, the batter. We're talking with Eddie Murray. Since there are 2 outs and we may have to go any second, I'd be remiss if we didn't ask, what are you up to now? How are you? How's your family? What's going on in your life?
Well, I'm running from the boogeyman. I tell you, the COVID's something special. No, it's got me staying in the house. I was telling somebody today, I said, yeah, I went and took a physical not too long ago, and doctor, you know what you need? I said, no. He said, you need vitamin D. He said, you haven't been getting enough sun. And I'll have to agree with it. I'm hiding out. I'm hiding out in that bedroom. Watching a whole lot of TV and stuff. But no, when basketball comes around, I got some great neighbors, and we all kind of get together and watch the basketball games. We watch football games, and I was telling them if I haven't sold my house in 2.5 months, I'm going to end up buying, just straight in the house, put 3 big screen TVs in my backyard.
Well, Eddie, it was a pleasure to watch you, and it's so great to have you at the park today. Thank you.
Hey, it was good, gentlemen. Thank you.
Eddie, pleasure.
Murray.
Good to see you.
Thank you,
500 home run day. The 500th home run. The seat is immortalized in orange. The jersey number is immortalized up in left field. There it is out in right center field. There are 2 orange seats in this park, and they're orange seats from home runs that happened exactly 1 year apart. Cal in '95 and Eddie and 96.
You know, and Eddie's so soft-spoken. You know, when he comes in, he's such a soft-spoken guy. But across those white lines, he was a different dude. You know, and he said several times about, you know, he could just turn it up. He was one of those guys that if you threw a ball inside or you made him look bad or you upset him in any way at all, he could just go to a different level and just lock in on you. And when he had locked in, it was bad news.
Third inning, it's Kelvin Gutierrez to take strike one. Eddie had to leave, but I was going to ask when he was here in the last. Now that he's gone, did you face Eddie?
Yeah, I mean, Eddie was part of those Cleveland teams I was referring to with Baerga and, of course, Albert Bell and Kenny Lofton. And the amazing part of that one was, as I mentioned, 2 potential Hall of Famers. I mean, well, Jim Thome's already in the Hall of Fame, I believe, but Manny Ramirez was down there hitting. It seemed like those guys they were young. They were hitting 6-7 hole in that lineup. That's how good that lineup was.
2 strikes, Bubic to Gutierrez. And ball 1. And then, as we mentioned, Eddie traded back here. 96, 3,000 hits, 500 home runs. Very, very small list. Only 6 have ever done that. 1-2 for Gutierrez, Oriole 8-hitter today. The Orioles have 2 leadoff hits against Chris Bubic. Have not done anything else. Cedric Mullins doubled in the first, was stranded at second. Jorge Mateo singled to lead off the second, was caught stealing on a bang play that went to review but was upheld. Still 1-2 for Kelvin Gutierrez, who had a big time RBI single yesterday, capping off the Orioles' 4-run 7th inning as they won 8-7 over the Yankees. Gutierrez 2 for 3 with the RBI single in that game. Also hit by a pitch, so on base 3 times.
Yeah, good to see him get going a little bit offensively. Defense has not been a problem. He's been solid on defense.
This one's skied to center, and Michael Taylor. Well, the Royals are in town for a 4-game series this week. 3 more 7:05 games tomorrow night, Wednesday, Thursday. Great seating options still available. Spend a night at the Yard enjoying Orioles baseball. Buy your tickets right now at Orioles.com/tickets. Don't know yet who's going to start for the O's in this series. We think it'll be Matt Harvey, John Means Wednesday, Thursday. Brandon Hyde trying to push them back, give them an extra day of rest, because Matt Harvey, as Brandon Hyde said, has thrown more innings than probably he or I expected. John Means will follow him in the rotation, it sounds like, and then tomorrow's starter TBA. The thought is from Brandon Hyde too, it could be somebody who's in the bullpen today, depending on how the game goes.
Exactly, and so, you know, today was Harvey's day, and so he's getting 1 extra day. This was his 5th day to pitch. He's getting 1 extra day. We don't know if he's going to answer the bell tomorrow. I saw John Means throwing a bullpen today, which almost tells me typically when you throw your bullpen, typically you can add 2 days of that is when you'll pitch, and so it could all be pushed back a little bit more. We could see a reliever come out and start tomorrow, and then we come back with Harvey and Means.
Yeah. Alexander Wells has not thrown in 9 days. He's in the bullpen today.
Yeah, Zach Birdie's been up here for a while. We have not seen him yet.
Strike 2, Austin Wynns 1-2. Birdie, one of the newest Oriole players, claimed for the White Sox a few weeks back, and he is on 9 days rest since last pitching in Norfolk. Has been up here for a week now and has not appeared in a game. Still 1-2 for Austin Wynns, making his 32nd start behind the plate this season. 178, a couple of home runs, 7 walks in 33 games overall. Chris Bubic starting on 3 days rest for Kansas City, so probably another inning or 2 for him. And a little tapper from Wynns. This one will hug the third base line fair. Leg it out, Austin. An infield single with 1 out.
Austin Wynns went 1 for 4 in that Yankee series. Picked up a base hit. Gets 1 today. And look, you get him any way you can get him. Change up out in front of him, just dribbles it down the line. I'm kind of surprised Bubic even went and picked this ball up. I don't think it would have rolled foul anyway, but that's one of those ones you know right now you're not throwing anybody out. Why even touch it? Hopefully maybe blow it foul if you can.
I mean, look, Austin Wynns not
Not a
speedy
speedster
guy, but you're not getting anybody out on that play. Here's Cedric. Doubled his first time up.
Cedric Mullins joined an elite club yesterday. 25-25 club with Don Baylor and Reggie Jackson. He got that opportunity just because Kelvin Gutierrez decided to hustle out a routine ground ball to Gleyber Torres at shortstop. And it really was a difference maker in the game for me. I know the Orioles scored 4 runs the next inning, but to me, that was down 5-2, 2 out, nobody on in the 6th inning. And Gutierrez beats out an infield single, and Mullins comes up with a 2-run homer.
He's added another extra base hit today. His 62nd extra base hit of the year. There's a strike from Bubic. When you say routine ground ball, it was as routine as it gets. Gleyber Torres probably should have moved a little bit quicker, realizing how fast Gutierrez was going, but the Orioles took advantage of it.
2 things he did wrong. 3 things. He underestimated the speed of Gutierrez, but then he took an extra crow hop and didn't put much on the throw after that. And Gutierrez, give him credit for hustling out of the box the whole way. I mean, and the truth is 80% of the guys at big league level, with 2 out, nobody on, you hit a 2-hopper like that to shortstop, you're running 80% out of the box. But he was 100%, and it worked. It extended the inning for the Orioles. Here's what we're talking about yesterday in the top of the 6th inning. The Orioles down by 3. Nobody on, 2 out. I mean, it's just your normal little 3-hopper, but look at the extra step and not much on the throw at all by Torres. Gutierrez would beat that out, extend that inning, and the man standing right now in the batter's box would hit his 25th home run, and that's really what gave the Orioles a little bit of life at the time.
That is last to third base. Alberto made the catch. There was nobody, I mean nobody on the left side of the infield besides Alberto, and Cedric hit it to the only place you could.
Just bad luck rather. That's all that was. That's a nice job by Cedric Mullins. Look how short that stroke was, just directly to the ball, barrels it up, and hits there Alberto in the only place he could be to make that play.
Hardy up ball, 97 off the bat. Out number 2 though. And now Ryan Mountcastle facing Bubic for a 2nd time. Ryan struck out his first time. Again, we'll see how long the leash is on Chris Bubic today. Only on 3 days rest. Pitched 4 days ago against Cleveland through a couple of innings in relief. Royals have a 9-man bullpen. Most teams are pretty well stacked in the bullpen these days with the expanded rosters. And their changeup was outside. Jordan Baker will start, and this is what fooled me earlier in the game. He'll move the right arm up, and he'll start to, it looks like, signal for a strike, but he's just, I guess, looking off to his right. 2-0 for Ryan, who's hit 25 home runs this year. 3 shy of the Oriole rookie record held by Cal, and 2 shy of the man who sat in between us a half inning ago, Eddie Murray, 27 as a rookie, 2nd most for an Orioles rookie in history back in '77.
Mountcastle had homered in 4 consecutive series before that Yankee series. Of course, did not hit a homer in that series, but he'd been stacking up the home runs as of late.
See if it's a green light situation on 3-0. It sure was, and Bubic threw a 3-0 changeup.
Bubic knew the situation. Hot hitter at the plate. Not wanting to give in. And that is his best pitch. That changeup, and he can land it just about in any situation. He does. 3-0 count. Takes a little bit off. Just about 10, 11 miles an hour off the fastball.
And now he goes back to the fastball on 3-1 to get a foul ball. How many 3-0 changeups did you throw?
None. I don't ever remember throwing a 3-0 changeup. No. And guys would swing 3-0. I mean, but there was a couple of times, you know, I remember throwing maybe a cut fastball or something a little bit different, just because I felt like I could command that ball a little bit better than I could the changeup.
Wins will be on the move from first on 3-2. And he'll be on the move to second as Mountcastle draws another walk. Those are starting to tick up these days. Ryan on base with his 33rd walk this season.
These are the situations, and one reason why the Orioles have played much better as of late. Runners in scoring position. The Orioles are hitting .305 over their last 4 series. So that's a big number for the Orioles. You go back to 4 previous series before those 4, and the Orioles only hit .093. And that was in the middle, of course, the losing streak. But as of late, the Orioles have been a lot better.
Austin Hayes has been great in these spots of late. 12-game hit streak into the afternoon. A chance to puncture the scoreless tie, put the Orioles on the board here on this Labor Day Monday. Ball 1. Couple of curveballs here from Bubic to start. Is it that he doesn't have confidence in the fastball, or it's simply that he's not wanting to get burned by one to Mountcastle or Hayes?
I think the scout report tells you, and when you have your pitchers meeting, game 1 of a series is who's hot and who's not. And obviously Austin Hayes has been hot, and most of the balls he's hit of late have been fastballs he's been on time for. So Bubic knows that, and he's trying to go to the off-speed stuff. And yes, the off-speed pitches for him are the ones he has the most success with. Change up in the breaking ball. And he's just not wanting to give in to a hot hitter.
.26 pitches here in the third. I wonder if we'll see another 3-0 changeup here.
Well, as a hitter in these situations now, when you get ahead, of course, you can start to sit on any pitch you want to sit on. And I think as Ryan Mountcastle gets some more at-bats under his belt and the years go by, you'll start to see him sit on certain pitches 3-0.
3-0 take. He did go to the fastball, Bubic, for strike 1.
Bubic almost feels like one of those guys to me that likes to show you the fastball and make you think, but he wants to do his work with the off-speed stuff.
Wins an infield single. Mountcastle a walk. Hayes a ground ball. That's going to sneak through. Austin Wins waved around third, and the Orioles are on the board first on Labor Day Monday. The hit streak at 13 for Austin Hayes. His RBI single makes it 1-0.
But that shows me a little bit about Austin Hayes and his maturing process there. So 3-0 count, you get a fastball, 3-1. And 3-1 count, what does Bubic do? He throws a changeup. And it almost looked like Austin Hayes, while he didn't get it hard, he was on time, hits it right back up the middle, 3-1 changeup. And I guarantee you, I'd love to talk to him after the game and say, well, you kind of looking 3-1 changeup in that situation, because he was right back from where it came.
Extends the longest hit streak of his career. Extends the inning for Anthony Santander. And another off-speed pitch. Curveball to start Anthony. 59 pitches for Bubic today, 27 fastballs. The other 32 have been a mix of a change in the curve.
Yeah, and he's 1 day short rest too, so you got to wonder. Typically with 1 day short rest, you could take off about 20 to 25 pitches, what you normally would throw in a ball game.
"31st pitch of the inning coming up. And it's high. A little extra juice at 94. 1-2 for Santander. Mateo on deck. And the Orioles looking to add on an inning where they've already picked up their first run. Rose trying for a third consecutive win today, and Kansas City's on the bullpen phone. Pitching coach Cal Eldred going to get a reliever up shortly, it appears. Fought off foul. That's right over the head of Mateo, and a duck out of the way in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, both of these teams playing some pretty good baseball as of late. Orioles 4-6 in their last 10. Won 2 of their last 4 series. The Royals have won 2 of their last 4 series as well. They're 5-5 in their last 10. And they just beat the first place White Sox in the Central in a series.
And there's Tyler Zuber, the young right-hander in the Royal pen. Now Castle and Hayes, the runners, and a 2-2 count for Santander. With a run in, and the Orioles threatening for more here in the third. On a high fastball here from Bubic.
It was up and it was a little bit in. You may see him go back to change up away. We'll see.
Perez jumps away. The pitch was a changeup indeed. And it was grounded to Alberto at third. Orioles get the first run as Hayes scores, wins. It's 1-0 after 3.
Ball is brought to you by Toyota RAV4. With reliability and value that fans can count on, go Toyota and let's go places.
Let's go to the fourth. What do you say? Orioles lead it by a run. That's Ben McDonald. I'm Kevin Brown. Rob Long with us on Eddie Murray 500 home run t-shirt day. Always giant heap of cotton candy day at the yard as well. That's a universal holiday. Well, Zach Lowther, pretty good in his second career big league start. Remember, the first one did not go so well. 2 1/3, 7 runs against Boston on May the 8th. But 3 scoreless. Scattered 2 hits and a walk against the Royals so far as he faces the middle of the order here in inning number 4. What has stood out to you about the lefty Zach Lowther?
Command. And this is the guy that for 4 years in the Oriole minor league system did what he did, and those numbers were really good. I know it's the minor leagues, but still, you can look at a lot of minor league numbers, but you pitch to a 2.6 ERA in the minor leagues, that says something. Always look at strikeouts versus innings pitched. I look at walks versus innings pitched, and he was dominant in both of those categories. And so that's the guy that the Orioles hoped that he would be at the big league level. Somebody would come up and challenge the strike zone. You know, he doesn't have big time put away stuff, but he's a guy that's going to pitch a little bit. He's going to change speed and be able to land his off speed pitches and fastball counts, and he's really mixed it well, and he stayed out of the middle of the plate so far today.
Edward Olivares, the cleanup hitter, pops one up. Jorge Mateo has the first out. Well, experience an O's game this season with the convenience and privacy of your very own suite. A variety of affordable single-game suites throughout the ballpark are available. Enjoy exclusive access to the game with climate-controlled interior seating, a private restroom, and comfortable outside seating. For more, go to Orioles.com/suites. Now, this would be the kind of day to enjoy some comfortable outside seating.
Doesn't get any better than this.
No.
Low humidity, not hot. Sun shining.
It's 84 right now, and it actually feels like 84. Santana, some humidity on that line drive, but Austin Hayes is on the spot. 2 quick outs in the 4th for Lowther. The swing and miss stuff is not really there for Zach Lowther right now. Only 3 whiffs in the game, but 13 called strikes, and just frankly, I struggle to remember much in the way of hard contact outside of that line drive.
He's just missing barrels, and there's still a place for guys in today's game. And we get so caught up in velocity and swing and miss stuff and this, that. It's okay. It's okay to have 2 pop-ups on the ground ball in an inning. That's a good inning in today's game as well.
Andrew Benintendi probably had the hardest contact, doubled off the wall in right field his first time. Royals got 1 base runner in each of the first 3 innings. 3-0 from Lowther, whose last start was a good one for Norfolk. September the 1st, 5 2/3, 3 runs against Charlotte. Scattered 4 hits, 1 walk, struck out 4. It's been a season of injury for Zach. He's pitched for 5 different teams. And the Florida Complex League for a start, Aberdeen and Bowie and Norfolk. And a 3-1 breaking ball. Benintendi down to a knee to try to get it.
Well, he got himself in a fastball count against Benintendi last time, and Benintendi nearly hit it for a home run. So Lowther says, you know what? I'm going to try something off speed this time in a fastball count. It works.
3-2. And he threw a fastball away. Second walk for Zach Lowther in the afternoon.
Anytime you're on the IL as much as Lowther's been on the IL this year, it's hard for a pitcher, even for a position player, to get their rhythm and get a feel for what you're trying to do. He's had enough rehab starts. And so far, no complaints. He's been right down there, out of the middle part of the plate, and he hadn't shook off much at all. Austin Wynns is the best the Orioles have as far as putting down fingers. He seems to understand the hitters and the hitter's approach as well as anybody does.
Popped up into right. Should be Anthony Santander's ball, and it is. 4 scoreless innings for Zach Lowther. Just keeps on cruising.
Years ago, the Iron Man broke the Iron Horse's record. 21-31 consecutive games played. What a night that was. What a weekend that was as well. There's his dad, Cal Ripken Sr.
See, I was hoping the footage we were going to show here, and this is wonderful footage as well. I was hoping we were going to get the footage from your camcorder in the dugout.
I had it.
There's Cal and Eddie, immortalized on September 6th. And there's Eddie.
There you go. Eddie's always fun to talk to. Always a good guy to talk to.
He was a little bit scared when he came in because we have not met. I introduced myself as Kevin Brown. I get that reaction sometimes. Kevin Brown? from a couple of former players too. But lovely to have Eddie with us in the 3rd inning. Great to have him in town today to celebrate this milestone moment. Did not begin his career as a switch hitter. Picked it up a couple of years into the minor leagues. Good decision made, Mr. Murray. 1-2 for Jorge Mateo. Chris Bubitz still out there for Kansas City after a 34-pitch 3rd inning.
Yeah, he's up to 66 pitches now. No activity yet in the Royals bullpen.
Throwing on 3 days rest as Mateo takes ball 2.
Bubich out of California, went to Stanford University, and boy, he was a fast climber. Only spent a couple of years in the minor league system. Made his MLB debut last year in 2020.
Mateo fists one to second, caught by Merrifield. Birdland want to see the Grammy-nominated Avett Brothers perform live at Oriole Park following the O's-Yankees game next week, September 16th. I think you do. Who doesn't love the Avett Brothers? We've got you covered. Enter at Masson Orioles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram now through Labor Day to win an Avett Brothers experience. Good luck.
That sounds like a good day at the ballpark.
Yes.
Especially if you get weather like you have today.
Now that is
what you got to lose.
Premium Americana, baseball, and then the Avett Brothers. Carter Faith will be opening. We've seen Carter perform at the ballpark as well. He has a lovely voice. And hopefully it'll be after another Orioles win over the Yankees. Took 2 or 3 in the Bronx this weekend. Their first win over an American League East team since the opening series against Boston. And the Orioles have actually played pretty well against the Yankees this season. You zero out the Orioles games in the Yankees and the Rays seasons. Yankees and the Rays are in a deadlock for first place. Tells us something about how the Rays have played against the Orioles and also how the Orioles have played against New York.
Well, we've seen all the teams this year. I mean, we've seen the Red Sox, the Yankees, of course, the Rays in the division here. And, you know, in my opinion, forget about the record. I know the record says what it is, but Tampa, you can see why they are in first place. I mean, it's the most complete team that I've seen this year. They could do a little bit of everything, from stealing some bases, hit for some power, hit for a little bit of average, a few of them, but they just know how to win. And boy, the pitching staff always right at the top.
I remain fascinated by what the Rays look like in a postseason series, starting pitcher wise. It's the one thing that to me could be a potential downfall, but they'll probably figure it out. They're the Rays. McKenna down swinging, his second strikeout of the game. Bubic's fourth.
Boy, Bubic gets ahead here. He hadn't finished a whole lot with fastballs today, but a lot of changeups and breaking balls, but he gets a 4-seam fastball just above the top of the zone at 93 and punches out Ryan McKenna.
Just a second strikeout on that fastball now. Santander back in the first. Jahmai Jones lined out to center his first time up. Pretty good swing from Jahmai yesterday off the bench. Double and drive in 2, replacing Ramon Urias, who's been banged up of late.
Yeah, it was good to see Jones get going a little bit. His 2 previous series weren't very good. Only 1 for 13 with an RBI, but 3 for 8 against the Yankees. Drove in a couple.
Seems to be a little bit more confidence at the plate, a little bit more confident look in the field as well as he continues to grow into second. His 10th start there for the Orioles this season, the position he primarily played in Norfolk as well. And of course, Jones, we've talked about this previously, but he is a converted outfielder. Still only 24 years old and still getting his feet wet at second base.
Definitely looks more comfortable, as you mentioned, in both of them. And I think it's just about the at-bats and the playing time. It's nice to come to the ballpark to know that your name's going to be in the lineup.
Under this one to left, and a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Bubic. The Orioles on top through 4. Nice little pitcher's duel that Zach Lowther and Chris Bubic have twirled today. Orioles have the lead after 4. As Hanser Alberto cuts through a curveball from Lowther, who's allowed 2 hits, 2 walks. Orioles have 4 hits and a walk. In the third, Austin Wynn singled, Ryan Mountcastle walked, and Austin Hayes singled Wynn's in. Second big league start for Lowther, gave up 7 runs in 2 1/3 in the first. Bubic, meanwhile, 5.16 ERA, most walks per 9 in the American League. So this is a little bit of an unexpected score, but it's been a pleasant game to watch, especially if you're a fan of pitching. 3-1 to Alberto, who, as we told you earlier, has 2 walks in 217 plate appearances this year. So if you throw it close here.
Well, he's normally swinging when he leaves the dugout. He don't take many of them. If it's close like that, he's swinging.
Alberto has just picked up his 2nd home run of the season, and he absolutely crushed it into the Kansas City bullpen. So he matches his walk total of 2 with home run number 2, a 426-foot blast off to tie the score.
Well, a couple years ago for the Orioles in the second half, he got a little bit of a home run tear. Hit 7 or 8 in the second half, which is a lot for him. But I tell you what, he stretched that one out. You don't see many balls by anybody travel this far. 3-1 count, looking fastball. He gets one kind of up, out over the plate. A nice balanced swing, and you could tell the noise, the sound it left home plate. And watch where this ball lands. Well into the Royals bullpen.
When we saw Alberto hit those home runs with the Orioles, typically they were ones that snuck out just over the fence in left center. I don't recall, maybe I'm missing one, but I don't recall him flying one into the visitors' bullpen before.
That's long. That's long for him. And one of the few mistakes today that Lowther has made. For the most part, he's been down where he wants to be. Occasionally, he's thrown the fastball up to the top of the zone and try to get a swing and a miss. He'll try to do it right here.
Oh, up and in against Hunter Dozier. Hit him on an 0-2 pitch. Mike Matheny's immediately out of the dugout, but it'll immediately turn back.
Well, you work so hard to get 0-2, and you could see Austin Wynns, the catcher for the Orioles. He motioned, give me the ball up. He wanted to change the eye level to Hunter Dozier. Of course, this ball's way too far in.
Runner on the left wrist, left forearm. Chris Holt with his first visit of the game, as Lowther will face this Kansas City order now for 3rd time through after a home run and a hit batter to the 8 and 9 spots. Whit Merrifield been held in check today. 5th in the American League in hits. He's flat out struck out swinging.
Yeah, Whit Merrifield just seems to put up numbers every year. It is consistent as it gets. Always towards the top of the stolen bases. He's been hot as of late. 35 hits since August the 10th.
There's a strike, 1-1. Not a very good Royals lineup, but this is the better part of it. Merrifield picks up a lot of hits. Nicky Lopez, who's the Royals' best on base man, and then the 41 home run man, Perez. Merrifield slams one on the ground at third. Double play ball. Gutierrez, Jones, and Mountcastle turn it.
Well, Whit Merrifield's a tough guy to double up. Like, he can get down the line, but this ball's hit hard. Watch Gutierrez. Quick and accurate, right on time. Jemiah Jones turns it over. Mountcastle finishes it off on the back end with a nice stretch. But look at this throw. Big time arm and just perfect right to the chest of Jones. And it's not even close over at first.
First double play that Zach Lowther has induced in the big leagues. And now he will get to face Nicky Lopez with the bases empty. Orioles have started their bullpen, so lefty here. Lowther against Lopez. You wonder what happens if Lopez gets on. Salvador Perez, the next man up. Would Brandon Hyde then make the move and take Lowther out of the game? Right-hander Connor Green settling in on the bullpen mound.
Yeah, Connor Green's one of the arms we talked about in this Oriole bullpen that's been really solid as of late. Yeah, as hot as Perez has been, and then look, he's been as hot as anybody. You just wonder in this situation, especially with a runner on. Does he get another opportunity as the Royals go through the lineup here now for the third time against Zach Lowther?
Well, one more strike, and we won't have to find that out. Lopez, little ground ball poked and hopped off the mound to Jones. Got to hurry, and got him. Nicely done by Jahmai Jones. A good defensive half inning for him.
Well, the boys flashing a little leather here in this inning. Jahmai Jones comes in because Nicky Lopez can get down the line, but I'm talking about by a half a step. The Orioles are off the field.
Single game tickets, ticket pack, special offers, and more at the Orioles Ticket Marketplace. Check back often for the latest opportunities. Check back soon. Got a month left in the season. Don't wait to purchase last minute at the box office. Ticket price is the same at Orioles.com/tickets. If you get more nights like this or more days like this, you got no excuse. Got to get out to the ballpark on a day like this. Day number 64 for the Orioles this year. So, if my math is correct, 17 home games to come after today.
Yeah, who's in next? Let's see. Blue Jays in next for 4, huh? Doubleheader.
Blue Jays are hot. Jays have won 4 in a row, trying to climb back into the American League wild card race. The Orioles are going to have a chance to spoil some seasons down the stretch. They did their part against the Yankees over the weekend. The Yankees right now are 1.5 game up on Boston in the wild card race for the first and second spots. Jays are 4 games back of the Red Sox. And then Seattle. Look now. Seattle has won 5 in a row. Mariners 4.5 behind Houston in the West.
Yeah, the Mariners just keep hanging around.
And they are 3 games out in the wild card. 3 behind Boston right now. The A's are 4 back. 74 and 63. They've scuffled a little. They've lost 3 straight.
Yeah, the Yankees and the Red Sox had a pretty comfortable lead on those wild card spots there for a while, about a week ago, but things are starting to tighten up a little bit.
Gutierrez rakes one into the ground to shortstop, and a late decision there. The throw by Lopez ruled to be in time. Let's see. Brandon Hyde is out of the dugout. Brandon Hyde immediately came out of the dugout.
Yeah, he's not even waiting this time. It don't look like he's even waiting to see it on the screen. He's got the dugout, but Lopez way too many steps. Way too many steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, 7 or 8 steps. And Gutierrez again.
So, I mean, obviously, Brandon Hyde's arguing because the Orioles had the challenge earlier in the game. He's without question safe. And now Brandon Hyde can't challenge the play because the Orioles lost the Mateo challenge
right
back in the second inning. So he's got to complain about this the old-fashioned way. Safe. It'd be nice if we could just have a bug in the ear of one of the umpires and somebody from New York could be on the line at all times and say, I know they lost their challenge, but this was pretty easy.
The only thing Gutierrez could have done better, and this is nitpicking a little bit, but it probably would have made a little bit of a difference, is land that foot, whatever foot you end up, land it to the front of the bag, not the middle of the bag. And sometimes those 6 or 8 inches is the difference between out and safe. But I think he's safe either way. But you youngsters at home, when you're getting down the line, think about where you land. Watch where this foot lands well up on the middle part of the bag. If you get that foot to the front part of the bag, it saves about 6 inches. It doesn't seem like much, but a lot of times that can be the difference.
Probably would have been the difference right there, judging by the call from James Hoy.
Yeah, 30 feet per second, which is elite sprint speed.
Is that what he ran there? 30 per second?
Yep.
Wow. That's not far from Mateo. We've realized the last couple of days that Kelvin Gutierrez is a little bit faster than he might have seemed.
There's nothing you don't like about Gutierrez on defense and running the speed, the athleticism. The question is, can the bat match everything else? And when you play the corner position at the big league level, you got to put up numbers.
Austin Wynns high into left field. Benintendi pacing himself in front of the wall. Now the ball didn't quite make it to the fence. 2 down as we check in with Rob Long.
Hey, guys, as you see Mr. Cedric Mullins coming to the plate, he is trying to finish out the season real strong. Coming off statistically his worst month of the year of August. The power was there with the 7 home runs and 12 RBI, but only batted .252 with a .310 on-base percentage, which was also the lowest. And Ben, you know how it is in August. Those dog days come around. He's never played this much baseball before. It looks like he's getting his second win because he's off to a pretty decent start this month.
No doubt, Rob. I mean, but look, over the course of 162, you're going to have a little bit of ups and downs. And we've seen this a couple times during the year from Cedric Mullins, you know, where he starts to go down just a tick, but then he seems to come right back. But the swing is too good. He's too consistent.
That's out to right field. That is number 26. Back-to-back games with a home run for Cedric Mullins.
Well, speaking of a pretty good swing, that's putting a good swing on one. 103 off the bat, 391 feet. And like a Rob Long 2-iron on the golf course, it quickly got out of the ballpark. A little slider trying to get it down and away was Bubic, but it never got there. It sat right in the middle of the plate, and Cedric Mullins knows exactly what to do with that one. His 26th home run, and now he has taken the team lead by 1 over Ryan Mountcastle in home runs.
Well, let's see if Ryan could do something about it. $500 for Dave Cook Jr., our Maryland Lottery contestant of the game. 26 home runs, 26 steals. He's now in the 26-26 club. Cedric Mullins.
There is time to get to that 30-30 mark. No Oriole in history have ever done it before.
Mountcastle with a base hit in the left field and a bat that flies pretty close to it. If you add up the distance on both of those two, that might have left the fence or left over the fence. But Ryan with a hit, he's on for the 2nd time in a row.
Well, Mountcastle is so strong. So strong. This ball right off the end of the bat, and you can see what he's left with in his hand. Not much. The head flies down to third base toward Hanser Alberto, but the ball's in the outfield.
.82 miles per hour off the bat is pretty good broken bat velocity, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Larry Carter will come out to the mound for Kansas City. Bubic has nearly made it. 5 innings on 3 days rest, but in trouble here in the 5th inning after getting the first 2 outs. And Domingo Tapia starts to throw in the Kansas City bullpen.
I don't know. I got to check with him. When he was like, just go give it to him. He said he wants to keep him, but I don't think he understands. So I'll check.
Strikeout, a walk, a single for Ryan today. And Cedric Mullins with home run number 26. I'm going to start a new club, or see if Cedric can start a new club. He's at 26-26 right now. We're all obsessed with round numbers, 5s and 0s. This one hit into left center by Hayes. And that will hang in for Taylor. Cedric could be the first Oriole ever to go 28-28. Nobody's
there you
ever
go.
done that.
He's on his way. And if he keeps swinging it like this, he could very well get there. You hang it up and Cedric Mullins can get it out of the ballpark. The Orioles take the lead 2-1 over the Royals. The 5th, Whit Merrifield, a hard 2-hopper over to Kelvin Gutierrez. A nice feed to Jahmai Jones at second base, who quickly turns it over to Ryan Mountcastle. That would be a big double plate an inning. So see your local Hyundai dealer today, because the longer you look at a new Hyundai, the more there is to like.
Zach Lowther back out for the 6th inning. Saw Connor Green warming up. Nobody out in the 5th, but a double play, a ground out. And now Lowther will pitch with a lead against Salvador Perez. Big at bat here against the 2nd leading home run hitter in the major leagues. Perez, 41 on the year, only 2 behind Shohei Ohtani. And Perez hits one high, but not very far. Ryan McKenna finding the sunshine here, drifting out toward right center, colliding with Anthony Santander. He made the catch.
Who made the catch?
Anthony got it. I said he made the catch, figuring it was a he either way. I had no idea. And it was Santander and a ball that just kept drifting to right center.
Well, the wind, that ball was way up in the air, and the wind is getting out a little bit. Boy, it's got to be outfield communication. And you could tell right away, it almost looked like McKenna didn't quite see it right away, and this starts drifting out toward right center field. Boy, Santander, right at the last second, reaches over and catches it. And I'm guessing nobody called it. I mean, that's the only reason this. I never saw Ryan McKenna call it. He's going for it. He's there too. And Santander is going to go get it until he's just called off. Center field, of course, has priority over everybody in the outfield. I'm just guessing McKenna never called that one, but it worked out.
He had the glove in the glove. The ball was in his glove, which I think was in turn in Ryan McKenna's glove. I think you should get an extra out for that. Called strike here. 2-1 for Olivares. It was not a terribly breezy day when we got to the ballpark. It didn't seem that windy at first pitch, and that has changed quickly. Here's another one up in the air. Let's see how this one plays. Austin Hayes calling everybody off. This one much more routine. Well, the Orioles continue to host on-site vaccine opportunities during all remaining home games at Oriole Park this season. All 17 of them after this, along with the Maryland Department of Health. Fans age 18 and up can get a voucher good for 2 lower-level tickets for free, along with their 1-dose COVID-19 vaccine. No appointments necessary. Learn more at Orioles.com/vaccine. Well, Zach Lowther does not have a 1-2-3 inning in the game. He can change that here by retiring Carlos Santana for a third time.
Well, he's not lost much. I mean, the velocity appears to be the same. The command appears to be the same. He's worked ahead a lot. And the only thing you can say about Zach Lowther is he's pitched. And what I mean by that, he's used them all. He's mixed it up. He stayed out of the middle of the plate. Again, not going to light the radar gun up. We did see one at 94. That's where he topped out. But it's been 89 to 92. McKenna quickly calls that one.
Yeah, he's going to call off nobody. Nobody's within 30 yards of him. He made the call anyway. All 3 outs in the outfield. 2 of them were routine, but all of them were caught. This afternoon, crowd on hand for some baseball in the sunshine at the end of a holiday weekend. Wearing the Eddie 500 home run t-shirt on the 25th anniversary of that milestone home run for Eddie.
Zach Lowther getting some fist bumps. Get the feeling that might just be the end for him. I'm a little surprised Bubic is back out, but Santander, of course, a switch hitter. And a lot better from the left side, so maybe they want him to hit from the right side just one more time. Then you got 2 right-handers coming up behind the Orioles, and a right-hander warming up for the Royals.
Look, if you expected a pitcher's duel of this magnitude, I mean, we'll hire you tomorrow. Zach Lowther had struggled in his first big league start. Chris Bubic is on 3 days rest and has struggled this year, but both very good. Bubic 5 innings on 3 days rest, and as you say, maybe just for this batter.
Yeah,
but despite that long 3rd inning, he's been effective.
I'd like to say I saw it coming for Zach Lowther, but I didn't. I mean, I'm looking at the numbers he put up this year, and you mentioned 3 or 4 different levels he pitched at, but they weren't great. He was 1-6 with a 4.3 ERA and more hits than innings pitched. But he has been spot on through 6 against the Royals. And Bubic on short rest, which I never thought he'd be up to 91 pitches on short rest, but he is.
Three and 1 for Anthony, who struck out, bounced into a fielder's choice. Orioles took the lead last inning on a solo home run from Cedric Mullins, 26th. Team leader by 1. 3 and 2 for Santander. Oh, that is the perfect drink for an afternoon baseball game. Yourself some lemonade. Not sure if they're going to allow the Yankee fan to have some lemonade. That ball is drilled down the line. It is foul, just wide of the pole. My goodness. 113 off the bat of Santander from the side that's usually not the power side.
We did see him hit 2 home runs in one game from the right side, but boy, he got all of that one. If you're Bubic, you better not throw that one again.
That might be the foul ball exit velocity leader of the year right there. Holy smokes. That one is a fair ball. Hit a little bit lighter, and Alberto's throw carries Santana into foul ground. Gets the job done. Download the MLB app to get in-game video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more for your Baltimore Orioles. That is going to be that for Chris Bubic. Your speculation, Ben McDonald proves to be correct. And Domingo Tapia will come in to face Jorge Mateo. 5 1/3 for Bubic. Orioles lead it by 1 as he departs.
Walked 1, and that's been a problem for him, averaging just about 9 per inning, or 5 per inning, or 5 per 9 innings pitched, I should say. Struck out 4, 61 strikes, 94 pitches. He'll give way to Domingo Tapia. Tapia on the year, making his 23rd appearance, a very good ERA. 20 to 30 innings pitched, 18 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 194 off the right-hander Domingo Tapia.
And at 6'3", 263, you might think, well, this is probably a guy who throws hard. And indeed, he is. Fastball averages 97 as a 2-seamer, 98 on a 4-seam. And he'll face Jorge Mateo after Bubic got Santander to lead off the 6th. And there's 96, fouled away by Mateo. Jorge singled in the 2nd, was caught stealing. Looked like he was probably safe, but he was called out, and then replay upheld it. Orioles lost that challenge. Then they could not challenge in the 5th when Kelvin Gutierrez was clearly safe on a ground ball, but called out at first. Jorge Lopez up in the Oriole bullpen, so it appears that with Lowther's day done, Lopez will have the 7th, and he has pitched a lot of late.
He has been busy.
Brushstroke from Mateo, who goes down on a Tapia slider.
First pitch, 96 fastball, and then back-to-back breaking balls down and away, and really good action on that slider.
Tapia, a trade acquisition from the Mariners this season after being designated for assignment in Midway. Been an important part of this Royal bullpen. Broke into the bigs last season with the Red Sox.
Yeah, it's a bullpen for the Royals. It's backed up a little bit from last year. Last year that bullpen 6th best in the American League. This year 11th best.
Ryan McKenna out to center. Michael Taylor's right there, and Tapia gets 2 quick outs in relief of Bubic. 2-1 Orioles. We're off to the 7th.
.25-year-old left-hander, and what a day it was. Fielded his position. Nice play by Ryan Mountcastle to get it over there. Throws a really good changeup right here to Whit Merrifield. Gets him well out in front, and then locks up Nicky Lopez on the fastball just on the outside part of the plate. Here are PNC inside the numbers. Zach Lowther, just his 2nd career start. Gets his first quality start of his career. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, only 1 run. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 56 strikes, and 92 innings pitched, or 92 pitches, and he'll give way to Jorge Lopez. Lopez making his 33rd appearance of the year. Recently put in that Oriole bullpen, and he has not disappointed. 121 innings pitched now in the year, and opponents hitting .293 off the right-hander, Jorge Lopez.
8 innings, 2 runs as a reliever for him, and there's Lowther, who went 6 innings today. Could you have asked for more out of Zach Lowther?
No.
Sure, if you were really, really greedy. Realistically, no. This was spectacular from Zach Lowther. And Lopez with a strike to Andrew Benintendi. So before we get into Lopez, who's been great out of the bullpen, I'm just curious why you think we saw such a different Zach Lowther today from the one who made that start against Boston. I know it was a few months ago, but clearly this looked like a different kind of pitcher.
Yeah, you know, anytime you do things a little bit more, you get more comfortable with what you're doing. And your first start in the big leagues is always an antsy one. You know, I mean, there's a lot of adrenaline going on. Sometimes it's tough for you to relax a little bit. Your second one's a little bit different. You're still nervous every time you hop up on the bump. But to me, he just looked like he was more in command, more relaxed, got out of that first inning with a runner on, and then really put it in cruise control after that.
Benintendi's ground ball to first. He's out. And Lopez is down. Lopez covering the base. He went down after stepping on first. Orioles are going to quickly check on him. Mark Shires is out there along with Brandon Hyde.
Boy, and he is in some type of pain. And I haven't seen it yet. But you see a lot of pitchers do this when they cover the bag. You try to get to the bag. You're trying to step on the bag at the same time you're receiving the ball. And sometimes you don't get on the bag where you want to get on the bag with your foot. So it's a breaking ball. He's got to quickly get over. It's a tough play because Benintendi can get down the line. And right there. Watch the right foot. Watch right down at the bottom. Rolls the ankle to the outside, and that's what it was. Remember Anthony Santander going back on a pickoff move at first base when he had gotten a base hit early in the year, tried to step back on the bag and twisted his ankle, and he was out for a while.
Brian Ebel, the Orioles head athletic trainer, who was probably in the clubhouse, is now coming out as well. Jorge Lopez helped to his feet. Chris Holt will jog out, probably to discuss with Brandon Hyde who comes into the game next, assuming Lopez is going to have to come out, and he is. And it's at a moment like this I start thinking about all the difficulties Jorge Lopez had as a starter this year, the up and down season it was, and then the way that he has turned it around out of the bullpen the last couple of weeks. You hope and pray this is not as serious as his initial reaction made it. We'll find out maybe something from Brandon Hyde after the game, but for now Jorge Lopez has to walk into the clubhouse on a pretty gnarly ankle twist.
And this is a big loss for the Orioles right here, because that's one of those ones that could linger for a while. It's his right foot, right ankle, so it's his push foot off the rubber. That's the one he gets the explosion from going down the slope.
Could linger for a while, Ben, and there's not a while left in this season, unfortunately.
Yep. And just when this Oriole bullpen would seem like it was finding its place, you know, and getting the pieces back lined up like it was early in the year, this is going to be a big loss if Lopez is out for a while.
All right, Connor Green's going to come in. We'll step aside in a one-run game.
Well, Jorge Lopez is out, and there is Connor Green making his 12th appearance out of that Oriole bullpen this year. 13 2/3 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts, 6 walks. Another one of these relievers for the Orioles kind of finding his way as of late. He's been really good. It's a mid to sometimes upper 90s fastball with some good sinking action and a really good breaking ball behind it.
And he gets a really good breaking ball over on Michael Taylor. Normally, a reliever would take a long time to warm up after an injury, but Green has already warmed up twice today. Was throwing in the bullpen in the 5th, throwing in the 6th, and he comes out of the gate firing 2 sliders past Taylor after Jorge Lopez turned his right ankle covering first base. And you know what? Credit to Jorge Lopez, who did make a really close play, fielded it very well. Taylor on a 2-strike pitch pokes a breaking ball into center, and he ends up getting the better of Connor Green with 1 out in the 7th.
Yeah, 2 really good breaking balls to get ahead of 0-2. That one not as nearly good and not located where he wanted 0-2. You want this one off the plate a little bit more. You can see Austin Wynns rocking out to the outside part, but that ball never got there.
So Taylor 1 for 3. Royals had the tying run at first. Taylor runs pretty well. 12 out of 18 this year as a base stealer, and as you mentioned earlier, the Royals lead the big leagues in steals. On Sir Alberto, first pitch swinging as he often is. A home run into the Royals bullpen his last time up. 426-foot blast for Alberto, just his 2nd home run of the season.
Yeah, Taylor will run. The equalizer for the Orioles is Austin Wynns behind home plate. He has had an outstanding year, well above average throwing out runners this year. And Green, and although Connor Green's kind of long and lanky, he does get the ball to home plate at a reasonable time. He'll give Austin Wynns an opportunity if Michael A. Taylor decides to take a chance.
Pitch yesterday, 2/3 of an inning, 1 run. Walked a couple of batters. Judge and Stanton. Alberto gumps one to right field. Santander will play it, and there's out number 2. Does it feel to you like we've seen a different Connor Green since the Orioles claimed him off waivers from the Dodgers?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's been more consistent in the strike zone. And he's like a lot of the other Orioles. You can go down the line. I mean, if you're talking about Tanner Scott or Dylan Tate, others that are down there that have really good arms, Jorge Lopez, it's about consistency. The stuff is good. I mean, the fastball is a good velocity fastball. It's not straight. It's got a lot of movement to it. And I think the breaking ball is really good, too. But he's been able to throw more quality strikes as of late.
Say this, too. Remember when Connor Green first pitch for the Orioles, he had been on the taxi squad for a while. He had not thrown in more than 2 weeks when he made his big league debut. He was on 16 days rest, and the first few outings were not great. He was designated for assignment by the Orioles, picked up by the Dodgers, threw a couple of times there. Then the Dodgers, who played bullpen roulette this year, designated him for assignment. The Orioles claimed him right back.
Yeah, and he was good for the Dodgers. I don't think he allowed a run in his 2 appearances, but yet they didn't have a need for him anymore, and the Orioles really liked what they saw from him and liked his potential, so picked him back up.
8 1/3, 3 runs in 7 games since coming back from his brief Hollywood stint. 1-0 for Hunter Dozier, Royals number 9 hitter, who's walked and been hit by a pitch in the game.
Hunter Dozier was a big draft pick back in 13. 1st round pick, 8th overall that year. Out of Stephen F. Austin.
The breaking ball just misses. 2-0 for Dozier. Leadoff hitter Whit Merrifield on deck. 5 out of the first 7 have been breaking balls for Connor Green. That one a fastball grounded to second base, and Jahmai Jones will end the top of the 7th inning. Orioles lead it going to the stretch. Kevin Brown, Ben McDonald, Rob Long back with you from Camden Yards. Orioles start a 4-game series against the Royals on this Labor Day. And Jahmai Jones hits a fly ball to right field, right at Olivares. Kelvin Gutierrez coming up with 1 out in the 7th. Let's check in with the aforementioned Rob Long.
You know, Kelvin Gutierrez, Kevin, almost did it again, beating out an infield single. I think he was safe. But you look at the makeup of this team now. You've got Cedric Mullins, Austin Hayes. Now you add Jorge Mateo and Kelvin Gutierrez. Ryan Mountcastle can pick him up and put him down for a big fella. This is no longer a station-to-station baseball team. You hear words like athletic. You hear words like a good base running. You heard those things from Mike Elias from day one. And now you're starting to see him put that together on the roster. Yeah, I mean, this is a baseball team that can go first to third, and it doesn't have to be in right field. It could be in center field. They have good team speed and a lot of plus runners on this team now.
And Gutierrez with a 1-hopper to second base will be thrown out by Merrifield. To your point, Rob, the Orioles have, if you round up for Gutierrez, who was in the 69.9th percentile, I think we can round him up into the 70th percentile. Orioles have on this roster 6 players that are in the top 70% of the league in terms of sprint speed. And that does include Richie Martin, who's not here right now, but Jahmai Jones not far behind. Austin Hayes has gotten his legs under him as the season's gone along, and it is a more athletic team, certainly been, since we saw day one.
Well, and don't forget about Ryan McKenna. I mean, he's right there with all of them. He can go too. And the more ways you can win a ball game, the better team you are, right? And if you can be athletic and go from first to third occasionally, maybe steal a base to get in the scoring position in tight ball games. Because the Orioles are not one of the big home run hitting teams that are out there. They hit their share, but towards the bottom in home runs, 12th out of 15. So they have to manufacture every now and then. The Orioles are a team that can play some small ball.
Certainly, the Orioles upgraded athletically when Michael Franco was designated for assignment, and Gutierrez took over at third base as well. And should have had an infield single for a second straight game. Was safe on the ground ball in the 5th inning. Called out. The Orioles had already lost their challenge. 2-1 for Austin Wins. Trying to give Cedric Mullins a shot against Domingo Tapia. Though I guess it won't be against Domingo Tapia. The Royals' only lefty in the bullpen, Jake Brentz, looks like he's ready to go if Cedric comes up. And a chopper from Wins will back up Merrifield, and we won't see that matchup here. Mullins will wait for the 8th. 6 outs to get for the O's. They lead it by 1. Royals going to throw the rookie Jackson Kowar, the 1st-round pick out of Florida 2018. Coverage begins on MASN 2, 6:30. O's Extra presented by FanDuel Sportsbook, followed by the game at 7. 25th anniversary of number 500 for Eddie Murray, who did it on this day and not the next day, just before midnight after a long rain delay as the Orioles played the Tigers. And the Orioles look for a win today on Eddie Day. They need 6 more outs, and they'll turn to Cole Sulser to get some of them. Yeah, Sulser has been solid as of late for the Orioles. Really pretty good all year long. 51st appearance of the year. He's collected 6 saves in that bullpen for the Orioles. 51 and a 3rd innings pitch, 66 strikeouts, so you know he can do that. It's a low to mid-90s fastball, pretty good slider, but the difference maker for him all year long, and what's been better about this year than last year, that split finger fastball has really danced around a lot. They'll face the top of the order, and Whit Merrifield takes him deep to right. Santander will watch it bounce over his head off the wall. A good backup by Ryan McKenna. But it is a leadoff double for Merrifield, his first hit of the game, and Kansas City has the tying run in scoring position with nobody out.
Well, Whit Merrifield can do it, and he has done it for a long time. 32 years old now, and he can inside out and take the ball the other way. And this is exactly what the Royals need to kind of get back in this ball game a little bit. A leadoff double. Nice job by McKenna. McKenna didn't wait to see if Santander was going to get that ball in. Whit Merrifield can really run. And if McKenna wouldn't have got there, he'd have easily got to third base.
Double number 31 for Merrifield. Top 10 in the league. And here's Nicky Lopez. Royals are going to try to small ball this sucker, and they have the guy to do it. Nicky Lopez has 10 sacrifice bunts. Don't hear that in the American League much these days. And there's a bunt to third base. Gutierrez has to hurry, and he got the out as Mountcastle kept the foot down. The bunt moves Merrifield to third with one out for Salvador Perez.
Boy, Nicky Lopez can get down the line. You couldn't have placed a bunt any better than this, but Kelvin Gutierrez comes flying in, and watch this arm. This is what impressed me about him. It is strong. It is accurate. And now what do you do with Perez? Perez has been so hot. Second in all of baseball in home runs. Second in all of baseball in RBIs. You just wonder with first and second open, you go ahead and put Perez on and try to sit back and play for the double play.
Chris Holt is going to discuss it. So the on-deck hitter is Edward Olivares, who has not had a great season. 215, 685 OPS. On the other hand, it's generally taboo to intentionally put the go-ahead run on base. So how would you play this?
It's a great question, and it's a flip of the coin. But for me, and for as hot as Perez has been right now, I don't want him to beat me. And there's always one guy in the lineup, and you line up on day one, you say, this guy is not going to beat me. And I just wondered, you got to trust Cole Sulser. If you trust Cole Sulser to know that everything's got to be on the corners, and if you miss, you got to know where to miss. I'm okay with it.
He's going to go after him, at least in theory. Maybe, just maybe, you fall behind Perez and you give him the free pass. One off of Jose Abreu's Major League RBI lead.
Yeah. And it's been a lot as of late, too.
Perez pops it up. Infield was in. Who's going to get there? Nobody's going to get there. And the game is tied. Just some plain dumb luck right there with the infield in. Perez with a shrug and a game-tying single to bring in Merrifield.
Well, Perez has had some good swings today. Nothing to show for it. But this was a little bit of a mistake here. There's no doubt. You could see where Austin Wynns wanted the ball, and where that ball into Austin Wynns was well off the outside corner. And I still think the intention was to pitch to Perez but not throw him a strike. And if he wanted to make himself out, then the Orioles would have taken that. And when you bring the infield in, it opens up these kinds of balls.
Ryan O'Hearn will pinch hit for Kansas City, even though Sulser is a reverse splits guy. And a strike to the left-hander O'Hearn. Well, whether or not Zach Lowther gets a decision, he pitched brilliantly today, but now he is not in line to be the winning pitcher, which would have been the first of his big league career. And the Orioles will have to win the game in their final at-bat one way or another. O'Hearn at 256 on base. Big free swinger. Does have some power. And lifts this one out to center field. Ryan McKenna. Now Ryan is calling off everything since his collision with Anthony. It doesn't matter if anybody else is in the ballpark.
Well, look, that's what you do when you're the center fielder. You are the captain.
I have a feeling that, you know, I'm wandering around Patterson Park or something later today. Ryan will just be there in a field with nobody within 200 yards, just calling off the butterflies. But he's made all the plays after that wind-aided fly ball caused a near pileup between McKenna and Santander a couple of innings ago. There's Carlos Santana, who's had a quiet day, 0 for 3. A lot of power in his bat, though. 18 home runs, second most on the Royals, and also 74 walks, which is third in the American League. And Santana drills one into center field for a hit. So the go-ahead run, Perez takes second. Third hit of the inning for Kansas City. It comes off the bat of Carlos Santana.
Yeah, this offense for the Royals pretty quiet up here to the 8th inning. But 3 base hits has netted 1 run. The Royals only had 3 hits going into the 8th inning.
Andrew Benintendi had one of them. Doubled off the wall in the second, walked in the 4th. Ground out to first base in the 7th. That was the play where Jorge Lopez twisted his right ankle covering first. Orioles officially announced Lopez left the game with right ankle pain, and he's awaiting further diagnostic testing. 2 on, 2 out, and a ball to Benintendi. Cole Sulser trying to limit the damage here in the 8th inning. Two and 0 for Benintendi. Well, this would be quite a time to make your Oriole debut, wouldn't it? Zach Birdie, who's not thrown since 10 days ago at Norfolk, is getting loose. Orioles have used a lot of relievers, as of late. Tanner Scott likely not available today. Back-to-back games. Marcos Duplan as well. That's rolled over under the glove of Mountcastle. And the Royals will take the lead as Perez comes in from third. And Benintendi moves up to second smartly on the throw to the plate. An RBI single, and it's 3-2 Kansas City on top for the first time today.
Boy, Andrew Benintendi's had a nice day. 2 for 3, a double, a single, and an RBI. A young man that in his first full season with the Red Sox hit 20 home runs. They thought he was about to take off, but traded over to the Royals this year. It's been a little bit of a mixed bag for him. Picks up his second base hit right by the diving Ryan Mountcastle. Santander comes up, but not nearly as time. Benintendi reads the throw. He ends up at second base, and the Royals have taken the lead here in the top of the 8th.
What are you seeing out of Sulser this inning?
Ball's up. Normally when the splitter's good, it's down. And his fastball he likes to be down with for the most part, and the breaking ball as well. And I think he's still upset at himself, to be honest with you, about the Perez at bat. You know, trying to go off the plate, and he gave up. And it wasn't a hard hit ball, but it falls in. But the execution wasn't there, what he was trying to accomplish. And that's what the mound meeting was about before that, was let's make sure we execute. And if we miss, we got to know where to miss.
Royals have had 5 productive plate appearances out of 6 in the inning. One of the outs was a sac bunt. Michael Taylor has singled his last time, 7th batter of the inning. The Orioles have some big bats coming up. Mullins, Mountcastle, and Hayes. 1, 2, 3. It is the best part of the order. Can hardly afford, though, to fall behind any further than this. Royals have a couple of good relievers at the back end of their bullpen. Jake Brents and Scott Barlow both had very strong years. What's that mean right there? The index finger up, down, up, down.
By Sulcer?
By Wins.
Oh, Wins is talking to Sulcer about what signal they're going to go to. You saw him look in his hat to see what sign he would get on. Runner at second base, sometimes you want to switch up what you're doing, especially a guy like Benintendi. Those hitters will get out at second base, and they're always peeking in at the signs. If they can just tip anything, it may be location, if they get the pitch sequence, and they all do it. If you'll watch Benintendi, his eyes are just focused on what Austin Wins is doing. And it'll be a late move to the left, a late move to the right, a look to the right or left, and kind of tip away with the location of where the ball's trying to go. Some hitters want it, some don't. And the reason why some hitters don't want it is because, you know, if you tip off and signal a ball to the inside part of the plate, or let's say to the outside part of the plate, and the pitcher really misses his spot and he comes up and in, that gets you in trouble. And that's why some hitters don't even want to know anything. They just want to go hit.
Taylor holds up. 3-2 count now to Michael Taylor. 2 runs across in the inning for Kansas City on 4 hits. (3-2). And he struck him out swinging on a slider. So Sulcer strands 2, but the Royals scored 2, and Kansas City has the lead for the first time today. Authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Scoreless inning in 2/3 for Domingo Tapia today. He'll give way to Jake Brentz as the youngsters look to rally the Orioles. A rally dab, maybe, after a 2-run top of the 8th for Kansas City.
There's Jake Brentz's numbers on the year. He has been busy, making his 62nd appearance of the year. A solid ERA at 3.3. Got a couple of saves. 56 innings pitched, 66 strikeouts. A little bit high on the walks, and opponents are hitting just 184 off the left-hander Jake Brentz. Orioles down 1 as we go here at the bottom of the 8th inning. No problem yesterday coming back for the Orioles against the Yankees, down 5-2, and 2 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th.
Brandon Hyde said after the game yesterday, you know, we could win 7-2 every once in a while. And yet, the Orioles' last 4 games have been 1-run games, 2 losses, 2 wins. Before that, a 2-run win over Toronto. And another 1-run game in the 8th inning today as Cedric Mullins will lead off the home 8th. And a ground ball hit to third. 1 pitch, 1 out for Jake Brentz. The new third baseman, Emmanuel Rivera, making the play for Kansas City. Hunter Alberto has gone to second with Merrifield to right. And Ryan O'Hearn, who pinch hit for Olivares, is out of the game. So Rivera into the cleanup spot and immediately tested at third. One out, 1 pitch, and a strike to Ryan Mountcastle at 96. Struck out in the first, walked in the third, singled in the 5th. Orioles were down yesterday 7-4 into the 7th, scored 4 to win it. Day before that, Joey Gallo hit a 2-run home run in the 8th inning to tie the game at 3 against the O's, but Baltimore scored a run in the 9th to break the tie. So a comeback win yesterday, and a win with a game that was tied going into the 9th on Saturday. Orioles will need to come back again in the late innings.
Well, they're in the right part of the lineup to do it.
Josh Staumont, the Royal right-hander, loosening. High chopper to short from Ryan. Nicky Lopez. 2 up, 2 down for Brentz.
Well, Brentz has got some good stuff from the left side. Fastball 95 to 97, breaking ball.
Rookie left-hander, first year in the big leagues. He's thrown 62 games. He's given up a run in 2 straight outings. Good start to this one as he faces Austin Hayes, who has an RBI single on his ledger today. Drove in the first run of the game with a single back up the box in the 3rd. 7 extra base hits over the last 13. That's the course of the hit streak for Austin, who has hit 15 home runs this year. And we told you about his lefty-righty splits all season long. 8 of those 15 home runs have come against left-handed pitchers.
Yeah, and it seems about the time that leg got healthy, that leg got 100%, the batting average took off. He started moving around much better in the outfield as well. Played through a tough time.
That's not going to help the leg.
Yeah, breaking ball by Brent's, just working it down and in.
Orioles don't need any more twisted ankles today.
Or leg injuries for that matter. You know, it's just. But look, it's been all across the board, Major League Baseball, and it's not surprising. You get the shortened season last year, you don't play but 60 games, and it's just different when you got to come back out. You got Zach Birdie and Tyler Wells heating up.
That was some pretty nifty synchronized throwing there.
Yeah, that's some high octane stuff going on down there, because Zach Birdie can rush it up to 100 too.
He's a fisted ground ball on a 1-2-3 inning, all on the ground for Brenz. Should be Zach Birdie's Oriole debut when we return in a 1-run game.
Up again as he gets one step closer to 30-30. Zach Lowther has a quality start as he gives the Orioles 6. Ben McDonald will break down his outing today. And the Orioles, stop me if you've heard this one, guys, they're in yet another nail biter.
Stop.
And O's Extra is on deck.
Stop.
Presented by PNC.
You told us to do it, Rob. We take you literally up here.
I know. I forgot it was you up there. Literally.
Yeah, but look, I'm going to tell you
It's a
about
nail
close.
biter.
Yeah, but close games is, as a ball player, is when you learn the most, and because it means the most. And you don't mind. Now, mentally, they're tough because they just drag you down. And there's a look at Zach Birdie.
And let's be honest, close games also brings out the best in Kevin Brown. He doesn't like blowouts.
I love blowouts.
He likes Oriole blowouts.
Yeah.
Okay, what other side?
Talk about whatever I want. Well, let's find out something about Zach Birdie, who hasn't thrown in a game in 10 days since he pitched in Norfolk. Saw the numbers with the White Sox, 6 games there. His Oriole debut. He'll face 8-9-1. Answer Alberto first. And a fastball in the dirt. 97 from Birdie, who was a first-round pick of the White Sox, and has battled through some major injuries the last several years.
You know, he was a closer at Louisville, and he was a real dude. I mean, a dude that rushed it up to, where he is right now. 97, could touch 100 from time to time. Injuries have really slowed him down. And the White Sox just kind of gave up on him.
26th overall pick in 2016. Had Tommy John surgery in 2017. 2019 had a lat strain. He then had a knee issue and had to have surgery to repair a torn patellar tendon. And he made his big league debut with the White Sox last year. With Chicago in total, 771 or 8.27 ERA, beg your pardon, in 14 games. 17 strikeouts, 16 1/3 big league innings, but 7 walks, and 7 home runs allowed. 2-2 for Alberto.
Well, stuff's there. The command isn't yet, and that's what he's working on.
Alberto, a home run back in the 5th inning. 1 for 3 game for him. Another 97 from Birdie. Baseball scouts use a 20 to 80 scale when grading certain aspects of a player. So if you have a 20, it's something that's the worst possible grade, and 80 is the best possible grade. Don't ask us why it's not 0 to 100, but Zach Birdie's a pitcher who, coming out of college, had an 80 grade on his fastball by a lot of different folks.
And that's as good as it gets.
This one popped up. First slider of the at-bat, and McKenna will clean it up in center field. So this is the kind of player you think, Ben, that is the exact sort of guy the Orioles should take a flyer on. Kind of like Jorge Mateo in terms of waiver claims. You know, Mateo, athletic, speedy guy who needs a regular opportunity. Maybe Zach Birdie is someone who will thrive with a change of scenery. Maybe he's someone who will thrive with regular opportunities to pitch. He finally gets an opportunity to pitch, and the Orioles will see what he can do. That looks good.
That's a really good slider. Yeah, anytime there's a first rounder, a former first rounder bouncing around out there, always a good idea. There's a reason why he was a first rounder. Zach Birdie's one of those guys and just never got a footing with the White Sox. Too many injuries. But if he's healthy, and the more he pitches, you just get the feel that he'll start to figure it out.
98, pretty good looking pitch there, but did not get the call against Hunter Dozier.
Yeah, the target looked like it was up. You could see Austin Wynns wanted that target kind of up and in. It does catch the box, but not called a strike.
He did not go according to James Hoy. Unfortunately, the fan in the crowd we heard, or the person next to the Orioles dugout mic, did not get final say on this. What do you think?
I don't think he did.
I don't think so.
I'm okay with that call. And Austin Wynns just setting up right in the middle of the plate.
We've talked about this a little bit, but I'm always interested in it. Did you like it when your catcher set up right in the middle of the plate?
No, I hated it. I mean, there was times in the game that the situation of the game dictates how you pitch. And of course, you know, if it's late in the ball game and you have a 4-run lead, I'm okay with nobody on. Well, I got a 4-run lead to create contact. I'm okay with that, but I want a catcher that's going to work with me because I'm looking at wherever you want the ball. I want to see your belly button where you want the ball in the mitt right behind it. That's what I want to see. When I first came up, I had Mickey Tettleton, and he just kind of sat in the middle of the plate, and he'd put his glove over to this side when he wanted the fastball in. He'd move his glove, and of course, Mickey'd been in the game a long time, and I was 21 years old. And I didn't say anything to him, but it aggravated me. And finally, I got to the point where, listen, I'd like to see you, wherever you want the ball, I'd like to see your midsection there too. And he kind of looked at me all cross-eyed, but he moved out there for me, and it helped out. But it's a matter that the situation in the game, it always dictates where you want to throw the ball and how good your command is that day. I don't need a guy on the outside corner when I can't throw a strike. I want you to right in the center of the plate.
3-2 is low. Dozier, the number 9 hitter, has walked twice and been hit by a pitch today. So I wonder how much of this has to do with command. Birdie, not a guy who's been a huge strike thrower. Is it maybe simpler for him to just see a glove down the middle of the plate here?
Absolutely. And the more he starts to get the ball where the glove is, because I think the thought from Austin Wynns is, look, I'm going to set up in the middle. But the chance of him, because of the lack of command he's shown, is that ball's probably not going to end up in the middle of the plate. Maybe a little bit in, maybe a little bit away. But you want your catcher to work with you.
Pinch runner Adalberto Mondesi at first base. Mike Matheny has used his entire bench except for backup catchers Sebastian Rivero. Mondesi pinch running for Dozier, the DH. And Birdie's throw is just a little bit late. First. I'm going to say I don't think that was the A move.
Well, let's hope that wasn't the A move.
That's the lull you to sleep move. And then Zach can whip around and pick him off. A little bit harder. Mondesi 5 for 6 as a base stealer this year. He's done that in only 13 games, so he will go. Got a good lead. There he goes. That's an easy stolen base for Adalberto Mondesi. His 6th in 7 tries.
Well, Mike Matheny, the skipper of the Royals, I mean, he is known for doing this. We talked several times about the stolen bases. The Royals have the most, and with the lead, they will continue to pressure you. And that's one of those ones by Birdie where you know Mondesi's off and running, and you know you've made a mistake, and you try to get it to the outside part to give Wins an opportunity.
There's a swinging strike from Whit Merrifield. Led off that 2-run rally in the 8th inning with a double. Orioles will have Santander, Mateo, McKenna due up in the bottom of the 9th. Remember, though, who's due up may not necessarily hit because Trey is on the bench. DJ Stewart is on the bench. Pedro Severino, too. Mondesi got back to second. I mean, he was dead meat if Jones had been there, but Jones was playing off the base.
Yeah, that was a pretty good inside move by Birdie. Picks the leg up and swings over. And there was no doubt Mondesi was going to try to take third, too.
He has the look of a guy who just wants to steal every base.
Yeah. And if you give him a chance, he will.
How do you manage knowing that you have a base stealer behind you with a huge lead and not letting it get in your head? Because obviously that's his intention.
That's exactly what his intention is, and it's also his intention to get to third base. But first of all, you got to vary your move, and you got to pick off every now and then, let him know you're looking at him. But I think it's one of those things as a pitcher, the more you get yourself into that situation, the more you begin to learn how to control the running game. And that's the thing about being a pitcher in today's game. You can't be just a guy that can come up and throw. You got to be able to field your position. You got to be able to control the running game. There's a whole lot of things that go into being a pitcher at the big league level. And you hope you learn those things in the minor leagues. You hope you learn them at college. And when you get to the big league level, it's not a shocker for you.
And nearly hit Merrifield. 3-2 to Witt. Nicky Lopez on deck. Salvador Perez in the hole with 1 out in the 9th.
Yeah, you get into the heart of this lineup for the Royals. And it's the part of the lineup that can stack some runs on you.
Birdie struck him out. First Orioles strikeout, a big one.
Boy, a big-time slider. 3-2 count against one of the best hitters in the league, and that's a really good breaking ball. Fastball's been 97, 98, and he bends that one in there and sets down Merrifield. So now Zach Birdie just 1 out away from getting out of this one.
Nicky Lopez, a tough out to get. Royals on-base percentage leader. Infield single in the 1st, sac bunt in the 8th. And Salvi Perez looming. Mondesi is taken off for third. He's got it stolen easily. Birdie didn't even notice.
Well, you could tell Mondesi was wanting to do this. The time he got to second base after he stole second, he wanted to get to third base. Watch Birdie. It's one look. And that's what Mondesi's looking for. And that's why as a pitcher, sometimes it's one look, you go to the plate. Next time it's 2 looks, maybe 3 looks. Maybe you step off, maybe do the inside move.
Gotta be careful he doesn't try to take home here at this rate. Lopez in the air, short center. All Ryan McKenna, and we go to the bottom of the ninth. O's need 1 to tie, 2 to win it. Santander to lead it off. Strands a runner at third. And now the Orioles need a run to send this game to extras, 2 to win it against the Royal closer Scott Barlow.
They'll try to get it off a guy that has been busy this year. 62nd appearance. He does have 10 saves, 10 for 16. 64 in the third out of the bullpen. 78 strikeouts, only 23 walks, and this Royals bullpen has been good. Bubic gave up 2 and 5 in the third, but so far this Royals bullpen, 3 relievers, 3 2/3 of no hit, no run baseball.
Domingo Tapia and Jake Brentz 8 up and 8 down. Barlow well rested, has not thrown in 5 days. The 4th-year Royal will face Anthony Santander. 3.56 the career ERA for Barlow. Career strikeout rate of 11 per 9. Walks more than 3.5 per 9. Santander, then Mateo, then Ryan McKenna. Maybe a pinch hitter somewhere in there. We'll see. And a slow breaking ball to start with strike 1. Santander 1 for 10 in a series at Yankee Stadium. 0 for 3 today. All against Bubic. This is his first at bat for the left side. And he takes ball 1 outside at 97. Last home run for Anthony came on August the 25th. It was the 4th home run he hit in a 4-game span. Has not homered, has not driven in a run, and the 9 games he's played in since. A fly ball high out to left. Benintendi at the wall, and he took it away. That is ridiculous. That is as casual a robbery as you'll see. Andrew Benintendi without a care in the world up at the top of the left field wall.
I think this ball fooled Andrew Benintendi. I don't think he thought this ball was going to carry this much. But it just kept drifting out, and I mean just at the last second, a small leap, and right on top of the wall takes a home run away. How about Barlow?
Oh.
Welcome to Oriole Park.
I think that may be the. First of all, I do think that ball was going out. I think it was right up the top of the fence, which would make that the lowest vertical jump on a home run robbery I've seen in this park.
Well, if you take a look at the flags and you see which way the flags are blowing right now, that ball carried just enough.
Mateo trying to carry this one out to center. Michael Taylor, just enough space in deep center. The Orioles are giving it a ride, but 2 flyouts and nothing more here in the 9th inning.
Yeah, 2 balls barreled up pretty good. And after flinching on that first breaking ball by Barlow, pretty good swing by Mateo, and the Orioles are down their final out.
And it will be DJ Stewart to pinch hit. Bat for Ryan McKenna. Barlow's going to get a visit here from the Royals bullpen coach Larry Carter. Their pitching coach Cal Eldred, the team announced during the game. They announced that he was not with the team today for personal matter. So Larry Carter makes the visit with DJ Stewart representing the tying run. Santander missed a home run by inches, an inch. Mateo hit one, an estimated 388 to center field. But now the Royals are 1 out away from snatching the first game of this series. DJ with a first pitch cut and strike one fouled away. Eight of his last 11 hits, DJ Stewart, have gone for extra bases. 4 home runs in that span, 11 on the season in 90 games. Royals scored 2 in the 8th to take the lead, both against Cole Sulser. Stewart goes the other way, a base hit for DJ. The tying run aboard on an opposite field single for DJ Stewart.
And an opposite field single hit hard too. This was a really nice approach by DJ Stewart. Scott Barlow been fishing some breaking balls to the outside part of the plate. DJ just kind of sits back, but he gets a fastball, but just kind of leans out over the plate and shoots it the other way. That's 3 balls in a row. Tagged pretty good by the Orioles here in the bottom of the 9th.
Orioles don't really have a pinch running option right now. The bench is Mancini, Severino, and Urias. And Urias is banged up, so Stewart stays in there and Jahmai Jones bats. Jones takes a called strike. Jahmai has doubled in each of the last 2, but he's 0 for 3 today. Some big hits in the Bronx and looking to add one at Oriole Park. 1 ball, 1 strike from Scott Barlow, the Royal closer. One and 2, and the Orioles are down to their final strike. Two and 2.
Well, a lot of breaking balls, huh, by Barlow. Jones got to have the same approach DJ Stewart had. Try to shoot it the other way.
First fastball he saw, and he was able to stay alive. Does not have a big league home run this year, Jahmai Jones. Does have 3 RBIs, the first of his Oriole career. Two. And Jones takes ball 3.
Can you relax? Can you be patient enough? And can you be disciplined enough to attack something that's in the zone? As many breaking balls as Barlow's thrown, I would not be shocked here. 3-2, he fishes another breaking ball in there.
Stewart will run from first. And it's fouled away. And you were right, Ben. It was another breaking ball.
Well, this Royals outfield is kind of pushed back a little bit. And they're pushing back because they know DJ Stewart is going to be off and moving. The ball gets in the gap. He's got a chance of scoring. DJ Stewart runs better than you think he does. You can see the right fielder Merrifield is pushed almost back to the warning track. Michael A. Taylor, the center fielder, pushed back as well.
Pitch number 8 to Jahmai Jones. And he goes down swinging to end it. Barlow shuts the door in the 9th, and the Royals come back to snatch game one of this series away from the Orioles 3-2.
Well, I tell you, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. But Bubic was really good, and three relievers for the Royals, outstanding, and comes back with another 3-2 breaking ball. It's one of those ones that looks like a strike. It is out of the hands, but as it travels, it's just off the outside corner, and the Orioles come up 1 run short.
After a comeback win in the late innings yesterday, the Orioles see a lead dissipate. They fail to win a 3rd consecutive game as Kansas City starts the 4-game series with a win. Great to spend time with Eddie Murray today on the 25th anniversary of 500. Always a thrill when Eddie is in the yard. But the Orioles fall again. The score 3-2. Game 2 of 4 tomorrow night. TBA for the Orioles. We'll see. Jackson Coar will start for Kansas City. We're back here on Masson 2 at 6:30 with those extra presented by FanDuel Sportsbook, followed by the game at 7. For Ben McDonald, our entire outstanding Masson crew, this is Kevin Brown. Again, the final score, Kansas City 3 and Baltimore 2. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, O's Extra, presented by PNC Bank with your host, Rob Long.